Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk radio.
Hello, dear listener. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Johnny. Boy, they have it so hot in here. It's like a sauna, for crying out loud. I was going to say busy show tonight. I've got literally no idea what we're doing. I know at one point we're going to have Cass Elliot's daughter on, but up until then, it's kind of up to you guys. I'll give out the phone number after we get the latest news.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for a living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I've taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
Let's be having you, Kyle.
Evening.
Kyle, the show has not even started, and you're doing your best to sabotage it. I'm out of breath, and all I've done is listen to a song. That's how unfit I am, Kyle. All I've done, it sounds a bit boxy again, but it don't matter. All I've done is listen to a song, Kyle, and I am out of breath already. This is outrageous.
That's your age, that.
Busy show tonight, Kyle. Very, very busy show tonight. I'm going to tell you why. 12:30, we got Owen Elliot. She's Mama Cass's daughter, coming on the show. I've interviewed her before. She's just a delight with stories about her mum and just all the, you know, she used to like hang out with David Crosby and Graham Nash and all these rock stars. Eric Clapton when she was like 3. Imagine that. Here's what we're going to do. The most famous person you met as a child. I'll tell you mine, Kyle, and we're trying to get him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Baker. Tom Baker. I was 5 years old. Tom Baker. I went to Television Centre. Tom Baker, the best Doctor Who, was dressed up in his full Doctor Who outfit. It was in what they used to call a crash bar at the BBC, which was just like basically where you get coffee and stuff. Tom Baker, 0844 499 1000, the best person you met as a child. Not interested above the age of 7. Tom Baker, in his full Doctor Who gear, they were filming an episode called Robots of Death, right? So there are a couple of these Robots of Death around. And my dad, I would never have gone and spoken to Doctor Who, but my dad said, "Here, go and speak to the Doctor." So I went up to Tom Baker, and Tom Baker went, "Hello, what's your name?" I went, "It's Iain." "Do you get scared watching Doctor Who?" "Yes." "Do you hide behind the sofa?" "Yes." "Good. So do I." And then he said, "I haven't got any jelly babies," but he gave me a packet of 2 sugar cubes.
That's not bad.
The best Doctor, and I forgot to look for that book. If anybody, the vibe has just appeared. My antenna has picked it up. The best autobiography of all time is Tom Baker's autobiography, right? He tells a brilliant story. There was a really good episode of Doctor Who going out, right? And he was somewhere up north on a Saturday night. He was drunk. He liked to drink. He'd had a few bevies, right? And Doctor Who, I think, was on at 5:15 on a Saturday night, and he really wanted to see this episode of Doctor Who. So he just knocked on and he was like one of the most famous people in the country. So he just knocked on a door in a street, and the bloke comes and he said, "Hello, I don't suppose you have children?" And the bloke went, "Flippin' heck, you're Doctor Who." He said, yeah, can I come in and watch can I come in and watch Doctor Who? And the dad, it was like a dad, he went, yeah, sure. And he went in, and he tells this story brilliantly. There were two little kids on the sofa watching Doctor Who, and he just went and sat beside them and didn't say anything. And about halfway through it, they looked up and then went, blimey! It's such a good book. I've got to dig that book out for you. Anyway, Carl, what the hell do you want?
Well, I've got a signed copy of that book if you want to borrow it.
I think I've got a copy somewhere. If not, I'm sure I can get it on eBay. Or you can buy... Here's the thing, guys. You can buy, on Amazon, CDs and books for a penny. Sounds like a bargain, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Because then you've got to pay £1.28 for postage. Even if you get them from the same company, you've still got to pay £1.28 postage for each CD or each book. That's where they make their profit. That's how I used to make the profit when I sold things on eBay. Whack up the postage a little bit, 50 pence here. It all adds up, Kyle.
You're not allowed to do that, are you?
Oh.
Oh. Would you like to know what I was ringing you about?
Yes, please, boss.
Right, so a while ago, I think it was you that I spoke to, I can't imagine who else it would be, that I had a Heidi High outfit.
It was you, yeah, you told me you had a Heidi High outfit, yeah.
Yeah, I've still not worn it, but I was a bit bored.
Well, would you not wear it and pretend to be, who was the fella talk like that? And Heidi High talk like that, and well, Miss Cathcart, I don't think, who was the main fella? Talk like that. Who ran?
Jeffrey Fairbrother.
That's the fella, yeah, he ran Heidi High. And then didn't he die? Didn't he die young?
Yeah, he died in his 40s, lung cancer.
Blimey, isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Well, you're really bringing us on a downer. You've covered lung cancer. We've not even got to Merle Haggard yet. Don't get me started on Merle Haggard.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Carl, please, get to the point.
Well, I was just going to say that I was looking around what else I had in my house that I could dress up in, parade up and down in, just to amuse myself.
Who the hell is Ginger Baker?
Tom Baker!
And I was just going to say, I've actually dug out my hard helmet while I'm listening to you, and my high-vis jacket.
What, you in the Village People or something? What's going on? Why have you got loads of perverts outfits? That's what they are, Kyle. They're perverts outfits.
I've got some Mexican wrestling masks as well. Is that perverted?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Dressing up in the bedroom, it's hey, listen, man, it's all groovy. But at what point do you go, you know, this sex we're having? Well, why don't I dress up as a builder, and you dress up as a schoolgirl, and then that will make the sex even better. Whoa. I mean, I'm all for that, but how do you introduce that conversation? How do you introduce that conversation into the bedroom arena?
Well, do you never, never, like, for the mood, do you not, like, pop a pair of headphones on and say, look, I'll just do a link? Do you not do that to get her in the mood?
Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much indeed. Here we go, guys. Here's the self-deprecating gag number one. No, because when I do that, everybody gets turned off. Kind of. There's something going. There's something there. Speaking of something there, it's Gatford. Hello, Gatford.
Good evening, my friend.
Good evening. Yes.
You're trending on Periscope.
I don't know what that means. You can watch the show, by the way, on Periscope. Periscope.tv/IAINLEE. I don't know what trending on Periscope means.
It means that you're popular again.
When I turned on the Periscope, I looked away for a second, and then I looked back. We had 280 people watching. We're down to 180. What? We lost 100 people. 100 people. Wow, this is trending. This is rubbish. This is rubbish.
I don't know why. I met Daley Thompson when I was a child because I won the Wellington boot throwing competition at school. And he presented the prize.
This is the thing. Wasn't tossing the Wellington boot? Wasn't that an Olympic sport for a while?
I'm not sure.
I genuinely think it was.
Surely tossing the cave would be more appropriate.
That Highland Games, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
There was also, and this was a genuine sport, right? This actually happened. Tossing the cowpat. Genuine sport. Genuine, actual sport. You would get a cowpat, a solid cowpat that had dried in the sun, and you would toss it like a frisbee. Actual sport.
Wow. I've started listening to a band that I previously dismissed.
Okay. Dismissed? You like, what, the Smiths?
No. I do like Smiths, but I previously dismissed Deep Purple as Smoke on the Water.
As what?
The Smoke on the Water rubbish.
Smoke on the Water, yes.
Down.
And what's that song about?
Drugs.
No, it's about, and we'll get one of the people.
Down
we'll get one of the people who is in the story of that song on this show one day, Mr. Howard Kalin. It's about a pop festival, I think in Montreux, and Frank Zappa's equipment caught fire on stage and burnt the venue down.
Mentioned in the song, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Frank Zappa and the Mothers, and the venue burnt down due to dodgy wiring. I think in Frank Zappa's Marshall stack, but I will have to get clarification of that from Mr. Howard.
Yeah, you don't want to get any illegal.
If he ever gives us a date for coming on this bloody show, those damn stoner American '60s pop stars.
But yeah, Deep Purple. Been loving the the music.
Well, that's a great call, Gatford. I really appreciate that. So that Gatford's been listening to Deep Purple. That's what have we learnt from the show so far today? We've learnt that Gatford has been listening to Deep Purple.
Never.
Yes. Hey, I've just had an email. Oh! Can I just show off for a moment? I've literally just had an email pop up. Shall I tell you who the email's from, Geeky Girl?
Go on. Who is it?
Only a Mr. James Dale.
Ooh.
I sent Jim Dale an email, because Jim Dale, right, he was on last night's show, last night's podcast.
It was wonderful.
I'm going to say it, the second best interview I've ever done in my career. The second best interview I've ever done in my 16-and-a-half-year career, right? And he emailed Kath to say, thank you so much, I really enjoyed that, thanks for having me on. What a gentleman, right? So I emailed him saying, thank you so much for coming on, it was a real thrill, we had lots of nice feedback and I was grinning like a loon for the whole thing, thank you. Literally, just popped up. Ian, thank you, Ian. A joy in capitals, he's shouting it, for me to talk with you. It flowed so smoothly, I loved every minute. That's what happens when you're in the hands of a pro interviewer. Congrats on all your success. Best, Jim Dale. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Dale has just sent me an email. Thank you very much indeed, James. Thank you, James. And I'm now going to bombard him with pictures of my genitals. That's what I'm going to do.
Might be crossing the line, Ian.
It might be, but we don't know. So often those lines are invisible, aren't they? And we just don't know until we've crossed it whether it is a line or not. So I'm going to take a punt. Do you know what I was thinking today when I was sat talking to Ian Hislop at a private eye lunch? I thought, I've not taken enough risks in my life, and I think maybe sending Jim one of those pictures is a risk that's worth taking. I really do.
Well.
Yep.
Well, it's your call. It's your call.
What have you got to say?
Well, I don't know if I'm a few years too late here, but what is it with people dressing up their dogs?
Oh, I don't get it. I don't like, I once, when I was still a vegetarian, I was on Big Brother's Bit on the Side or whatever it was. It was when George Lamb was hosting it, and there were some little dogs with clothes on, and they wanted me to hold the dogs. And I said, yeah, I'll hold them, but take them out of those flipping stupid clothes. It's unethical. The only time you should ever dress an animal is when it's a monkey dressed as a bellboy and he's got like a tray of drinks stapled to his hand. That's the only that's the only time I want to see animals wearing clothes.
Well, I'll tell you what I saw today.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, okay, it was quite windy down by the sea in Brighton on the coast.
Yeah.
It was very windy and cold, so the lady said, "Oh yeah, we just put his clothes on for that." But it was not just a vest. It had a hood, hoodie. It had a hoodie and a Diamante skull and crossbones on the back.
When did the skull and crossbones become a fashion thing? You see, like normal people. Obviously, they're not normal. They're obviously deranged, but they wear like scarves with skull and crossbones on, and jumpers with skull. It's like, what? It's that's piracy.
I think that came back in a little bit with the emos about 10 years ago. Suddenly,
no, he died. He died, and he fell off the roof fixing his aerial.
You're thinking of Emu.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Rod Hull and Emu. No.
No,
okay.
The emos, because they're emotional teenagers. Because teenagers never were emotional before the emos.
No. The thing about the emo's basically goth, isn't it? It's the 21st century.
They're goth wannabes, yeah.
Yeah, I've met goths, and they really are such delightful people.
Yeah, I've known some. I used to want to be a goth.
Have you heard the Divine Comedy song, The Happy Goth?
No.
Tell you what, you got permission, Geeky Girl. Nip off for 4 minutes, listen to it on YouTube, and then you can come back and let me know what you think. All right. Ta-ta, The Happy Goth by the Divine Comedy. 0844 499 1000.
Hey Ian, look at this wild man nonsense.
What is it with all this wild man nonsense? They're still playing that. And breathe. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. So what are we talking about this evening? Well, lots of things have just happened there, so let's have a quick recap. Dressing animals. Let me write that down. I'm actually writing it down. Dressing animals. Famous people you met under the age of 10, let's say. I'm not interested. Famous people under... when you were under the age of 10, not famous children you met. Although, famous children you met is another one as well. Children you met. Let's see what Richard has got to contribute to the conversation this evening. Good evening, Richard.
Hi, Ian. I actually warned you for this. This is a really bad story, but the nature of digital only radio is that I've still got to hear.
Well, the thing with a brand new radio station, and with, I'm going to be honest, Richard, not that many calls. Hang on, I've been told I have to do this. Hang on a second. You can text me by texting the word talk and your message to 87222. Text costs 25 pence plus your standard network rate. Does that get me off the hook now? Does that get me off the hook?
I've done that. Pence is quite a high entry rate as well. Look.
I'm just doing what I'm told.
Anyway, so
yes.
So, I did meet a celebrity in costume. I think this is why the story is so bad, is that I'm not even sure I believe my own story.
What, hang on, so you're telling a story that you're not sure you even believe yourself?
Yeah, so I believed this for a large point of my life until I was about sort of 17 and I really thought about it myself.
I had someone who told me at college that they'd met George Harrison from the Beatles. I got them to tell me the story and I said, yeah, that wasn't George Harrison. What would he be doing playing guitar with a hat in front of him at a car boot sale? This
is very similar. Is I don't believe that the celebrity involved, I'll tease that, would be there now when I think about it logically.
Was it Shola Amma at a car boot sale? Because this is the weird thing.
It wasn't. No.
I have had so many people phoning me up telling me they've seen Shola Amma, who was a minor pop star in the 90s, doing a car boot sale. If you've seen Shola Amma at a car boot sale...
You have to believe the populace, I guess. If you got multiple reports of it...
I don't believe anything, especially if it's on the Howard Hughes show. But carry on.
Anyway, so I suppose probably to set the scene here. The year is 1995-ish.
Yeah.
I'm 5 or 6 years old.
Okay, you're actually going back in time.
Just to take you back then.
You carry on. I've just broken the studio a little bit. You carry on. I'm just going down here because I pulled a knob off. Carry on.
Everyone in the UK spent their Saturday nights watching Noel's House Party and Gladiators.
Yeah.
So Noel Edmonds is the most famous man in the world at this point.
Yeah.
So famous that he opened a theme park. Based around
Blobbyland or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was in a place called Cricket St Thomas in the southwest.
Yeah.
And even though everyone hates Noel Edmonds and Mr. Blobby, I used to love him as a child. And my parents took me to Blobbyland.
I never understood. I never got Blobby, because Blobby was originally created to be like a really bad pastiche of like a children's puppet. It was like a bad a bad joke, and then everyone
and I just loved him genuinely.
But this is the thing, it was supposed to be a bad thing for one skit on Noel's House Party, and it was supposed to obviously be a rubbish, man in an outfit, kind of a bungle type affair, but even worse. But everyone in the country, it was like in the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, when everyone's like turning into these zombies, and then Lennon Nimoy's a zombie, and you're going, but it's rubbish, right? It's obviously rubbish. Someone's going, but Blobby's good. Blobby's good. We like Blobby.
The Blobby released a single.
He went to number flipping one.
Just him singing the theme tune over and over again, and I had the tape. I was a stupid child.
Yeah, well, okay.
Anyway, so my parents took me to Blobbyland, and for years I was convinced that I met Noel Edmonds there.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely met Mr. Blobby, or a man in a Mr. Blobby suit.
Yeah.
But for years I was convinced that I met Noel Edmonds there. And it was only when I sort of I was about to tell someone this story about the time I met Noel Edmonds, that I just thought, why would Noel Edmonds be in his own theme park on, Saturday afternoon?
Why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't it? What made you think it was the real Edmonds?
Well, at this point, he was the most famous man in the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep repeating that. He was, so what, as a child, I thought that I met Noel Edmonds. And now thinking back, I don't even know if I met a lookalike.
Was it just a black man with a beard? Is Noel Edmonds black?
I don't even know if there was a guy who looked at Noel Edmonds there. I just
Right.
thought, I just remembered this memory as me meeting Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
There's no actual reason for me to believe that.
Well, okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. If anybody has ever met Noel Edmonds, if they can confirm whether or not he is black, that will be a great start. 0844 49. I don't know why you brought that into the story. I personally don't see colour.
didn't say he was
Thanks for your call, Richard. I appreciate that. I don't know why you brought that into the thing. 2016, I don't see colour.
He's got a black beard now, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So if anyone has ever seen Noel Edmonds, of any ethnicity, 0844 499 1000. I've got to be honest, Catherine, Catherine Boyle, my producer, who joins me in the studio now.
Hi.
That means no phone calls. It don't matter. It don't matter. It literally don't matter. But that's got to be the worst 24 minutes opening of any radio show, let alone one on the fledgling talk radio.
I don't know. I've heard some others.
Okay. 0844 499 1000. So, I went to the private eye lunch today. As you know, I'm socially awkward, okay? I don't do these things. But I knew Tony Blackburn was going, and I've worked with Tony before. We know Tony a little bit. I don't know him brilliantly, but I know him a little bit. He's a very nice man. And I texted him and said, are you still going today? He said, yeah. And I said, oh, okay, well, I'll see you there. And I said, Tony, I get very nervous at these things. And he replied, don't worry, so do I. Would you like me to wait for you outside?
Aww.
And I went, yeah, that's the coolest thing. And so it was raining, and he was waiting for me outside this really swanky. It wasn't even a restaurant. It was a club. And when I say club, I don't mean like Cinderella Rockefellers or Bambinos.
There were no shots when you walked in.
No. It was like one of those posh private clubs.
Like a Sherlock Holmes type club.
I don't know what that means. But where people go and talk about Sherlock Holmes. We didn't discuss mysteries.
Where people sit on their own in high-backed leather chairs.
Yeah. That was that. But then there was a dining room that we were escorted to. So Tony was waiting for me outside. And we went in, and it was because both of us had been in private eye, okay? And we went in, and I thought it was going to be huge. I thought there'd be like 60 people there or something. There were 15 of us.
Oh.
15 of us, including Iain Hislop, right? So me and Tony are the first people there, and we went in, and there were a couple of people from private eye, and we kind of got chatting, and then more people came in, and I didn't know anybody. Oh, I knew Mark Lawson from Radio 4, formerly another person given the elbow from the Beat. And we got chatting, and everyone was delightful, and we sat down. We had the poshest food.
Was it tiny food
yeah.
piled up?
Well, it was all right actually. It was good portions.
Did you have proper sauce, or was it skids?
No, it was proper. The sauce that I had for the main was mushy peas, and as you know,
I like the mushy peas.
I really do.
Was it shaped?
No. Honestly, it was quality.
Okay.
And a fish on it, and then for pudding I had a mousse. And, got loads of calls. I had a mousse, and then someone had left, a very nice gentleman called Ben had left his cheese board. I said, Ben, you're not going to leave that, are you? And he said, yeah. I said, well, give me some of that.
That's why you were invited to Hoover.
And Hislop sat at the other end. Mm-hmm. I thought, we're not going to get to speak to the star. And then after the main, I saw him say to the people next to him, excuse me, I'm going to go up the other end. Could we swap seats? And then he went and came and sat next to us. And it was weird. And then I was talking to Tony and this nice gentleman called Andy. And we're all sort of thinking, Iain Hislop has graced us with his presence. We're kind of waiting for him to join in the conversation. And he's just, do you know what? I don't know what I was expecting from Iain Hislop. He's the sweetest man in the world. Iain, hello. The beard. How long have you had that? Are you trying to trick me or something? It was his opening gambit. The beard? How long have you had that? Are you trying to trick me or something? And then we just chatted about the beard. We chatted about Savile. And other paedophiles within the BBC. We bitched about the BBC. And then we just talked about, we talked nonsense. It was a delight. It turns out that social functions, yes, they are toe-curlingly awkward and uncomfortable things to be in. Andrea, Joe and Jamie, stay there. We'll come to you in a minute. I mean, and I hate doing them, but I can do them. I can.
Well, you did that one, and that's great.
Well, yeah, I did that. I don't think I'll be doing any more.
Well,
I don't think
they want us to go for drinks, don't they? Here.
And I blurted out, I'm contractually obliged to go to drinks here next Thursday. I'll be doing that, but I'll be in and out. But I then blurted, I was trying to be cool, and then I went, my father-in-law thinks it's really cool that I'm here! So sorry. Like that. And he said, I'm glad we're helping impress the family. Oh, no, blimey.
It's all right. I'm sure he hears it all the time.
I'm regretting posing for the selfie with him at the end.
Did you?
Of course I didn't do that.
But you wish you had.
Because I did. It would have been wicked. 0844 499 1000. Andrea, Joe and Jamie say they'll come to you after this. 0844 499 1000. There was a point to that story, and it's to do with waiting staff, but we'll get to that in a second because we've got our own staff waiting. It's Joe. Good evening, Joe.
Hello, Ian. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you very much indeed.
Jolly good. I'm glad the new show's going really well and everything.
Is it? Well, is it going well? I don't know. We're trending on Periscope. That's all I know.
All right. Well, I think it's going very well.
Well, may God bless you for that, Joseph.
Good to hear you on the airwaves again.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to feed both the children. That's always a bonus. One was getting very, very thin, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Right. Well, I was just wondering, I'm not anywhere near as good as this as you are, but would you like to play the yes or no game with me, Ian?
I would love to.
Would you?
Of course.
You didn't say yes then, did you?
Of course I would like to play it.
Right, you're not shaking your head or nodding your head.
I wouldn't do that. That's against the rules.
That is. I can't see it either.
People are watching on Periscope, so they will be able to tell.
No, I've never been on a submarine. Now, have you...
Very claustrophobic. Have you started the clock yet?
No, I haven't got a clock. I phoned you the other week and said I'm not putting the clocks forward, I'm going back.
Are we still playing the game?
Well, I am.
Well, you said yes and no, Joe, in the last...
He's asking the questions. He's allowed to say both of those words. You keep out of this.
I'm Michael Smiles.
And you're doing an excellent job.
Have you had a nice day today?
It's been a busy day, although I'm very tired.
Have you had something nice for lunch?
Of course I have.
I've started the clock, by the way. You did have something nice for lunch.
Of course I did.
You've got to look after yourself, you know.
I had good food.
Did you get wind?
I haven't had wind for a couple of days.
Oh, I have. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry to hear that. And smell it.
So I went to the doctor.
I'm sorry to smell that.
Do you know what he gave me?
You smelt it, you dealt it.
I went to the doctors with seriously bad wind problem. Do you know what he gave me?
Was it a wind balloon or a cork?
No, a kite.
Wowzers.
I've never been so insulted in all my life.
Outrageous behaviour. I'd change your GP.
I would.
Is your GP Geoffrey the giraffe from Toys R Us?
No, I don't think so. I can't tell you what I call my GP because it's rude, because he's not very good at diagnosing things. Anyway, we've wandered away from the game, haven't we?
I haven't.
No,
I'm still playing.
Yeah, I know when I'm beat.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Are you stopping the clock?
No, I'm going to set it forward to next Tuesday.
I tell you why I'm so good at it. I play this with my 6-year-old boy, right? And my 6-year-old boy loves this, and this is where I got the line from. Of course I have, because that's his answer. He's brilliant at it. Of course I have. Of course I haven't.
She says, I might be, or very, very
kids are brilliant, and kids find that game hilarious. Here, I tell you what, Joe, shall I do it? Shall I do it on you?
Oh, be useless. Go on then.
Are you ready? Are you ready to play?
I think so.
Okay, right. What's your name?
Joe.
Joe. And whereabouts do you live, Joe?
In Potters Bar, Hertfordshire.
Oh, Potters Bar. I know Potters Bar. I had family who lived kind of near there. How long have you lived there for?
23 years.
23 years?
About that, yeah.
Hey! Thank you very much, Joe. And the trick is, guys, it's such a fun game. When I taught it to the boys, they love it, and they find it, and it's that. And my eldest does what I was doing there. He just stares into the middle distance. Of course I have. Do you go to school? Of course I do. He does that. But the trick, what Joe was doing wrong there, do you know what he was doing wrong when he was questioning me? Every question was a yes/no question. No, you don't do it like that.
You slide one in from the side.
You slide one in from. Steady on, Kath. Actually did a turn to camera there for the Periscope guys. You do like, you just chat normally, and you ask them questions where it's an answer, it's a proper answer they have to give, and then like question 7, 8 or 9 is a yes or no, and you've relaxed them. Andrea's on the line. Good evening, Andrea.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening. What have you got for us today?
Somebody I met as a child.
Oh yeah, go on.
I met Keith Harrison Orville.
Oh, Keith Harrison who?
Orville.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to trump you with my Keith Harrison Orville story, so let's hear yours first.
When I was little, my mum and dad took me to see them.
Yeah.
And I went on stage with them and gave Orville my lollipop because he was crying.
Fair play. There we go. She's trumped mine totally. Wowzers! How old were you?
6 or 7.
That must have been the biggest thrill in the world.
It was Brill.
What show was it?
It was just this a show that was going round. It wasn't a pantomime or anything. It was just they did a show in Oldham at the Queen Elizabeth Hall, I think it was.
And because you know that Keith Harris now does like a blue show for the adults. He does a raunchy adult rude ventriloquism. This is true. This is not even a gag with Cuddles the monkey and Orville swears and things.
Still alive.
Oh look, Keith Harris has died, hasn't he? Yeah.
He died last year.
He's doing a blue show. Keith Harris and Merle Haggard, David Bowie are all together doing a really weird show together. He did die, didn't he, Keith Harris? Fair play.
I had that moment there where it sort of flickered, and I thought, I don't think he does do it anymore. I'm not sure enough, but I had to say.
Well, all I was thinking was Bloomin' he must be good.
Yeah, well, I was in the audience of Crackerjack once. No, hang on, guys. I was in the audience of Crackerjack once.
Crackerjack.
Thank you. And Keith Harris was sat one seat away from me with Cuddles the monkey doing a piece, and so I was on telly. And someone about 12 years ago, because I was bang at it, got me a tape of that performance. You could see me sat, and I lost the tape.
I'm so jealous of both of you. One, because you went to Crackerjack.
Crackerjack!
And two, because you went up on stage, Andrea. My mum would never let me have a go at that. When they used to say, right, we need some kiddies up here.
The thing is, though, the Crackerjack experience was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Oh, really?
Because I would have been 8.
Was it Stu Francis?
Stu Francis. And I was 8. We were in the third row. We got really good seats, because my dad worked at the BBC, so good seats for all these things. Behind me, Hard Kids.
Oh.
And they kept punching my ear. My right ear is heating up. Even remembering that humiliating evening. And I was in tears, right? But I was trying not to cry, so I was stifling the tears. And then the young lady, there are 2 young ladies that were like co-presenters. I don't know if it was Vicky Licorice, but she looked like Vicky Licorice. She had the same teeth. And she saw me crying, and she sort of smiled at me and waved. And that made me feel brave. But he was punching me in the ear. He was like about 11. Oh, you little git. And that's why I punch 11-year-olds.
Oh.
I don't. Andrea, thank you for that. 0844 499 1000.
Nepotism, though, isn't it? It's a kind of microcosm for society. You got what David Cameron's getting at the moment.
Not at all.
Yeah, the kids punching up.
No, not at all. What is David Cameron's getting? Nothing. David Cameron.
He's getting people being snidey about his dad.
No, well, I mean. Well, but they weren't getting snidey about my dad. They were punching my ear.
It's because you had better seats than them.
He was getting snidey about my ear. He was probably being abused at home or something. You know, do you know what I mean? There's probably,
why would you do that?
There was trauma going on in his life. I can see that now, but still, that was my ear.
Not as much trauma as is going on.
It was humiliating. I was humiliated. That's what it was. It was humiliation.
Yeah.
Jamie's on the line. Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm all right, fella. What you got for us?
Good. Celebrities that you met when you were a kid.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is the phone in.
I danced with Sharon Davis, you know, the swimmer.
Oh, blimey.
I was about 6. Yeah. And even at 6 years old, I remember thinking...
Steady. I remember one of my worst jobs I ever had... No, let me rephrase that. One of the best jobs I ever had was working in HMV in Slough. It's a B&M now. I walked past it the other day. It's a B&M. At one Christmas. Right? Worked there for 6 months. Great. Got 30% discount. I bought the Nick Drake box set, and I bought loads of stuff. And I'm going to say it, I nicked loads of stuff. And what got me through that Christmas, because it was miserable, because it was when Robson and Jerome were out, so we had to play the Robson and Jerome album.
Oh, I've heard that thing.
Millions of times I've heard that.
I'm really sorry.
The one thing that got me through that was there were a display of calendars up by the door. The cover, I don't know what year did the Beatles... Hang on a second, I'm going to date this exactly. I need to ask Google a question. What year did the Beatles release Free as a Bird? I'm going to say 1995 or 6, 1996. I'm going to say 1996. Hang on a second. Ah, bum, it was 1995. All right, never mind, I was a year out. So it was 1995. The cover of the Sharon Davis calendar for 1996, for that is what we were selling, was just, it was a sight to behold, Jamie. It was a sight to behold. I'm going to Google that as well.
She's quite an impressive woman in real life as well.
So what show did you go in? How did that happen?
It was a Radio Lollipop Roadshow in the Whitgift Centre in Croydon.
Of course it was.
And they had this jockey bloke there, can't remember his name. I wasn't interested in him.
No.
And I won this competition, like, eating a donut without using your hands.
Oh, mate! Beautiful!
And my prize was a goodie bag and a dance with Sharon Davis, and it was awesome.
That's basically prostitution. I can't find the exact picture, but I'm getting flashbacks to a time where... Jamie, listen, excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed. We are asking, I don't know why, but it seems like a nice thing to do. Celebrities you met when you were a child. I don't want to hear any stories from people who are almost 15. No, I'm not interested in that. Well, I want 6, 7, 8-year-olds, because it's a weird thing. Celebrity I was afraid to meet, which is weird now, and he came up in the conversation today. Ed Stewpot Stewart.
Oh.
Because he was hosting like a thing, a brownies thing, and I liked Ed Stewpot Stewart because he used to do Cracker Jack.
Yes, I think he did.
And he did Junior Choice. And I was all set to meet him, all set to meet him. And then when we went to meet him, I went, I can't do it. Come on, go and meet Ed Stewpot Stewart. I don't want to do it. Go and meet him, begging on about him. Oh wait, go and meet him. And I burst into tears. And my dad did the thing that I sometimes do with my kids, and I try and oh come on then, we're going back to the car, ruining it for everybody. I don't quite do that, but he did that. And there's that brilliant passage in his autobiography. You know the passage?
About when he met his wife?
When she was, 14?
Yeah.
Wowzers. I mean, it's...
and he was nearly 30, wasn't he?
0844 499 1000. We'll have a look for that while these ads play. So, Ed Stewpot Stewart, big star. I walked past him once. People you've walked past. People you've walked past. 0844 499 1000.
Hugh Laurie.
Felicity Kendall.
Jeremy Paxman. But I did that thing where I said hello to him thinking I knew him, and then it was
Don't
only...
want the story.
I got further down the corridor, I realised it was Paxo.
We're just doing the... We'll start again. People you've walked past poker. Okay. Ed Stewpot Stewart.
Jeremy Paxman.
Felicity Kendall.
Hugh Laurie.
David Schwimmer.
You!
That'll do. So this is from Ed Stewart's autobiography.
You got the right music?
Well, this is no, I haven't. I'm not getting music. I can't be bothered with the blooming volumes and things I have to work with in this place. Anyway, here's an extract from it. Stewart could be a somewhat controversial figure, as his autobiography, Out of the Stewpot. See, there we go. He candidly, out of the Stewpot.
Not quite. But...
Doesn't. No, on no level does that work. I mean, out of the frying pan. If his name was Ed Frying Pan.
Or Melting Pot. But you don't come out of the melting pot.
He candidly admitted that he met his wife when she was aged just 13 and he was 34. In the book, he describes... We're going to have to buy this book, aren't we? Mm-hmm. He describes turning up at his future wife's parents' house. I arrived at 7 p.m. I can't remember how he talks. And was... I wonder if there's an audiobook of it. And was greeted at the door by what I can only describe as a 13-year-old apparition. She was simply stunning. She was 13, he was 34. 34-year-old men do not, should not, will not, may not find 13-year-old girls stunning. You can find 13-year-old girls pretty. It's a pretty little girl. But stunning is a sexual reference. No, Stuart, no. Out. We're not having that. The 1970s. 1960s, 1970s, dear listener. Things were different and wrong.
My dad would have seen him off.
Sorry? 0844 499 1000. So, at this do, I felt really sorry for the waiting staff, right? Because the do was populated by people who were well-to-do. You know, Iain Hislop got me a millionaire.
I'd say so.
Other people there were lots of people I didn't get to speak to everyone because I'm very shy. And I don't remember what everyone did because I've got bad memory. But there were, you
had a good time.
We were all, you know, I'm doing all right. We're not brilliant. Could be a little bit better. Might get a little bit worse for a little while, but I'm doing all right. But these people, they were on, you know, minimum wage. More than minimum wage. They're probably
doing all right as waiting staff go.
They as waiting staff, they were beautiful. The men and the women. They were dressed simply but elegantly. Black.
Immaculate.
No. No, I'm going to stick with my description.
Simply but elegant.
Yeah, they weren't immaculate.
Really?
No, that's immaculate's like primo.
Well, okay, fine.
So, I'll wait 444.
If I ever have a restaurant, they'll be immaculate.
Well, fine. This was a little bit this was not quite as poncy as your restaurant. Caff's.
I mean,
and I make a real point of whenever they top up my water, that's what I was drinking, or they take my plates, I always make a point of breaking away from the conversation, even though I'm talking to someone very, very powerful like Tony Blackburn. I just break away and I go, thanks. And I was the only person that was
do other people do that?
No, I was the only person that does it. I was the only person that I have ever seen in the world do it because I'm a fantastic human being. That's
I'm always nice to waiters.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You're not,
yeah, I am.
though. You're not.
I am.
No, but you're not,
yeah, but I am, though.
I've seen you in our local Chinese restaurant, and you're very, very cold with them. To the point of you don't actually use the language of a racist.
Wow.
But there's a real... The vibe that you're giving off is, what are you doing in my country? It's that kind of vibe. And that upsets me a lot. That makes me uncomfortable. It really does. And I'm glad we're having this conversation now.
Wow, Iain.
Yeah. Sit with it. Own it. Don't send it straight back. Own it and embrace it. And I think you'll find that I'm right. Doesn't matter to me, but to them, you're breaking their poor hearts. They serve us wonderful, wonderful food. And I'm just hoping they don't get the orders mixed up and put whatever they put in your food in mine one day. It'd be disgusting. But it got me thinking, right? That
they.
Yeah, them. That lot. The Chinese. Is that what you want me to say? You're racist. But no one at this do would have got a tip because it was a private club. You don't tip. I don't think. I mean, I don't know.
You didn't tip them.
No one tipped them. No one tipped them, and it just made me think. Without the waiting staff in this country, the whole system would grind to a halt. There'd be nothing. You forget your doctors going on strike. Turns out we're okay when they go on strike. We can manage.
Well,
are you dead? No. They've been on strike since 8 o'clock this morning. How many? Did we just check? Id.
Hi.
The doctors have been on strike since 8 o'clock this morning. Are you dead?
No, still alive.
Well,
see?
That's because there are procedures in place.
Exactly, you see? He's fine. I'm fine. You spoken to your kids?
Yeah, I wish them good night.
There you go. You see, they're fine. And doctors are on strike. So we don't actually need doctors, is what that proves. So Jeremy Hunt is right. We should ban all doctors. Make them illegal. Perfect. The waiting staff, we just couldn't cope. You'd be sat there going, are we ever going to get served? No, because there's no waiting staff. They've all been executed.
Have you ever been waiting staff?
No, I couldn't do it.
I have.
Couldn't do it.
I have. I was very good at it.
Go on. I tell you what.
No.
I tell you what you're going to do. We've got a caller coming up. When I put Triss through, you're gonna wait on Triss, hand and foot.
Been a while.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
As if he'd ever puts her through, blimey. Or him. It's
him, Tristan.
That's a bit... the Talk Sports lot,
yes,
they've abbreviated the word penalty to penno.
It's a very long word for them.
Penno. Triss?
Hello.
Right, so you're in a restaurant, and unfortunately, Kath is the waitress. She's normally waiters and waitresses, waiting staff are young people working their way through college or, on to getting a proper job. But Kath's fallen on hard times, and she's got to have 3 jobs, and so the third job is she's a waiting staff. So I'm going to hang on a minute. Let me get some.
I used to work in a Mexican restaurant called Fajitas.
Right.
I was the only one in there who could pronounce guacamole. Everyone else called it guacamole.
I'm gonna get some music for you. Hang on a minute. Let's get some.
I was something of a specialist.
Oh God, please stop being dirty. Here we go. Right, so here's the background music. You're in a restaurant. Serve Triss. Away you go.
Hello, sir. Do you have a reservation?
No, not tonight. I was hoping to get a walk in.
Well, of course. Tell you what, here's the best seat in the house. Can I take your coat for you?
Of course.
Thank you so much. I'll be right back with your drink.
I'm going to stop you there.
What?
You can't give him the best seat in the house. You have
Triss, though.
No,
Triss.
No. You have to keep the best seat in the house in case Paul McCartney or the Pope or Burt Reynolds walks in. That's a basic. You've just lost 5 points. Continue. Continue.
Sorry, Triss, I'm going to have to move you to the second best seat in the house. Is that okay? I mean, you didn't reserve, so it's fair enough, innit? Triss?
Tris has gone. You've lost.
I've lost him.
Get Tris back, please, Id. Tris has gone. And that's how bad.
That's why I'm not a waitress anymore.
That's how bad you are at waiting on people. He's just walked out of the restaurant. Evening, Paul.
Evening, Ian. How are you?
I'm really disappointed in my colleague. Turns out you think you know someone, mate, and you don't know them at all. Very cold attitude towards the hungry paying customer.
Well, it's just the way it goes. The one thing with the one thing I always learn about waiters and waitresses is that they touch you.
Sorry?
In order to get a tip, because if you touch somebody, you're more, the psychological thing is you're more likely to tip them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That's neuro-linguistic programming.
Where
NLP.
was I supposed to touch them?
On their privates with your mouth, and then you get a big tip. Oh, that's a filthy joke there. I didn't mean that at all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes, you did.
But no, I didn't mean the second joke.
Better.
Anyway, Paul, what you got?
We can either have people I met when I was under 10 or people you've walked past poker. Up to you.
I'm just trying to think what hand I'm going to play for the poker. I tell you what, we'll do the people you walk past poker, and if you win, you can tell us who you met under the age of 10.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. You go first.
Johan Cruyff.
Sorry?
Johan Cruyff.
The football man.
Flipping it. All right, Steve Wright.
Jeff Minter.
Oh, the computer. All right, fair play. Ian Livingston. This is the geekiest hand ever.
Stephen Fry.
Oh, that's a good one.
As he walked into
I don't want to know the story. I don't want to know the story. This we're just playing the poker. I don't want to know the story. Okay. Stephen Fry, you say? Give me a 10-second countdown, Kath, because I'm struggling
10,
here.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
John Prescott.
Normski.
Michelle Gale.
Kim Ward.
Sinita.
Chris Cross.
I just realised we've got no actual ending to this game.
I have. I've got the ending.
All right, hang on a second. Prince Edward.
Gary Davis.
Mark Goodyear.
Beyonce.
What?
Selfridges.
Rod Stewart. Selfridges. Snap. I win. Boom.
Charlie
I won.
Sheen.
I won. No, I've won. I've just snapped you, mate.
Charlie Sheen.
Who?
Charlie Sheen.
I've just snapped, mate. Does he not understand the rules? I've snapped him.
I thought he was playing poker.
Yeah, I know.
You
Poker
said
snap. Poker snap. I've snapped him. He said Beyonce. He said Beyonce in Selfridges. I said Rod Stewart in Selfridges, and I snapped it first. He should have snapped it. I'm sorry, Paul. You're off, but I will let you tell your story of who you met when you were under the age of 10.
Oh, that's very kind.
It's literally my pleasure.
Peter Davison.
Oh, go on. What happened?
It's just surreal. Well, how old was I? 7, and we went into Trent Park up in.
I went to university in Trent Park.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Kathy just won it. Well done. Now this is getting surreal. Okay, yeah, I went to university there. The things I did in Trent Park. Wow, the things I did. Look at the grin on my face as I'm remembering some of the naughty, nice, and not so nice things I did in Trent Park. Once me and my friend Simon had to escape from the Nazis in Trent Park. It took 4 hours. True story. Don't do drugs, kids. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, there's an obelisk. In Trent Park, and we were up there wandering along, and we stumbled across the recording of Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Up there?
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to me when I went up to that obelisk?
Nazis?
No. We went the other way to escape from the Nazis. I got chatted up by an old gay man. When I was in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I was getting chatted up by old gay men in their 50s and 60s. All the flipping time. I don't get it now. I don't know what's going on. But I got chatted up. I think he invited me back to his place. And what a lovely place it was too. Paul, thank you very much for that indeed. Tris, we're going to have to speak to you after the news. But are you coming back to the restaurant?
I am, yeah. I'm still waiting to have my coat taken.
Okay, because it got very weird. You disappeared. We'll come back to you in a second. Stay there and we'll speak to you after the news. 0844 499 1000. I always got the eye from old gay men when I was in London, and it kind of stopped when I got to about 28. It just stopped. I used to get the eye all the time. I used to get old men chatting me up. And the eye on the tube, I used to get it a lot on the tube. Just men
giving you the glad eye.
Totally, and it was a real vibe. And I loved it. You know, because it was like,
still got it.
Still got it. And then from 29 onwards, I didn't got it no more.
Gosh.
I don't get game. And you would have think with all the furore that happened recently, that they'd be all over me. But no.
I had that experience up to about 28 with not gay men, but drunk men.
Yeah, that would explain it. And now you got kids who what's the phrase when it's a grandma? Anyway, 0844 499 1000.
Talk Radio.
So, as per usual, not really talking about anything apart from waiting staff, dressing up animals, famous people you met when you were under the age of 10, and people you've walked past poker. We can certainly play that. Don't forget there is now a new snap element introduced into that game. If you want to take part, now's an excellent time to call 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000. If you give us a call now, Id will take your details and we'll get back to you shortly. Right now, here's the news on Talk Radio. Hang on a minute. This is the problem with... Oh, dearie me. Hang on a second. We can get rid of that. This is the problem with having no fader for this computer. Are we any closer to getting a fader for the computer?
Every day we're closer.
Every day. Don't worry. Goodbye, you. And smoothly done. This is the thing, because I've got no faders. I'm having to do it all on the computer, and it means it's annoying. This is what I wanted, to press button F.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
So we are back in Caff's Caff, and you're welcoming your first customer. There you go. Yes, go.
Oh, hello, sir. Back again?
Yeah, I'm back.
Wonderful. And you don't have a reservation, is that right?
That's correct.
That's cool. We're all free and easy here at Cass Caff. Let me take your coat. There you go. How will this seat do for you here by the roaring log fire?
Have you got a window seat?
I can crack this window if you like. There you go.
Okay.
Take a seat. Now, can I get you a drink before we begin?
Yeah, I'll just get some sparkling water, please.
Certainly. And while I'm gone, please do feel free to peruse the menu. The specials today are the salmon.
I'm just finding the whole thing creepy.
It is creepy.
Well, but it shouldn't be.
I'm waiting on someone. I don't know. It's weird.
That's the job of. That's what waiters do. They don't know it. It's not just their mates and their family coming in. It's strangers.
So it's weird.
But why are you make? It's just like a weird vibe.
All right,
It's
well,
like
you do it then.
All right.
Tell you
fine.
what. Have my towel. Have the menu.
Right, I'll do it.
You can do it.
For a start, I'm changing the music because the music you've got in here is rubbish.
I didn't pick it.
There we go. We'll have. Right. Hang on a second. Here we go. Good evening, sir.
Evening.
Hungry?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
You've come to the wrong place. We haven't got food. Only joking. It's a restaurant. Of course we have. Come and sit down, fella. Right, you take a seat there.
Yeah.
There's your menu. What would you like to drink?
Sparkling water, please.
Why?
Because I'm teetotal.
Nah. Have tap water. I'll tell you for why. Sparkling water's a con, because the bottle, a third of the bottle is air, so you're paying for air. Tap water's free, means you've got a little bit of extra money in your pocket to take out a beautiful young lady or hire a prostitute, whatever you choose to do. Whatever you choose to do,
What kind of
sir.
establishment are you running?
I don't judge.
It makes me feel middle class though, sipping.
Yeah, I tell you what, mate. We'll get you some water. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay. What kind of food would you like?
Fish. I'm into fish.
You're into fish.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you.
literally,
I'm going to ask you to leave my restaurant, sir. I don't like perverts. You come in here banging on about prostitutes, and then you say you want to have sex with a fish. Out. Get out now. Turn the music off, Steve. All right. Steve works in the kitchen and does the music. All right. Get out. Come on, everybody. Let's get this pervert out of our restaurant. We don't want perverts in here. Get out. Get out, and don't you come back, and you take your stinking coat as well, you deviant. And that is how...
Not to get a tip.
Well, but the restaurant is safe for families. Family friendly. Unlike yours, you let anybody in there. You didn't even know the fella and you let him in. You can just let anybody wander in. Not
I think
having
that's
that.
the idea, isn't
Not
it?
having that. No, I will. I'm sorry, Tris, to have called you a pervert. But from
no, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate to be fair.
Poor fella didn't call up for this, and we bullied him mercilessly. You're a good sport, Tris. What did you call him for?
The famous people I met under the age of 10.
This is the best phoning ever. Go on then, mate. What you got?
Well, I was about 7 or 8, and I was at the Big and Hill Air Show.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember this, but I get it from my parents. And Gary Newman was there with his like light aircraft or whatever.
Gary Newman would have been there with his light aircraft and his wig. But carry on.
Yeah. So I had, at the age of 7 or 8, I had no idea who Gary Newman was.
Yeah.
My dad my dad insisted I queued up for maybe an hour and a half to meet him. And now, I mean, I love Tube Way and everything like that these days. But because I was so grumpy and so sort of insolent when I got to the front of the queue, my punishment was that he refused to take a picture.
Gary,
so I've got no photographic evidence of this ever happened.
Hang on a minute, Gary. What did you say to Mr. You don't do well in restaurants or with 80s pop stars. What did you say to Mr. Newman, who I have worked with and is a delightful gentleman? What did you say to him that meant he wasn't going to give you a photograph?
No. It was my dad that refused to take.
Oh, your dad did! Your dad punished you.
Yeah.
Flipping it!
By him not taking a photograph with someone I didn't know.
That's outrageous. Wowzers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fair play, Tris. We've basically bullied you for the last 20 minutes, and it seems to be a recurring theme in your life. Why was I don't get the thing about air shows. And why anybody... You see how quick I am? Look, I've just bought this for 79 pence off iTunes with cars. Boom, 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 boom. Here in my car, I'm running over.
Didn't come with lyrics.
Bam, 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 cars. 79 pence I've spent on you, Tris.
That's the Muzak version, is it?
Yeah. My favourite thing is to type in the name of a favourite song, followed by the word karaoke. And I've got so many karaoke songs on my computer. I love it. But why?
Do you know? On that note, I bought one of the worst albums I ever bought yesterday. The band Tangerine Dream, who I love from the mid-70s period.
Yeah.
They've got this album called Dream Encores Live from like the late 90s.
Yeah.
Where they've covered things like Eleanor Rigby and Purple Haze.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I thought it was sort of my two musical worlds colliding.
Yeah.
But it is truly the worst thing I've ever spent £3.50 on.
Oh, really?
I mean, truly, truly awful. You need to check out Eleanor Rigby by Tangerine Dream. Dreadful.
We have the power. Tangerine.
He's now going to buy it.
No, I'm not going to buy it. We'll do this on YouTube.
No, don't buy it.
Eleanor Rigby. Hang on a second. See if it pops up. Yeah, hang on a minute. We've got it. Hang on a minute. Let me stop. Gary Newman. Here we go. Tangerine Dream with Eleanor Rigby. Do they? I don't know a lot about Tangerine Dream. Do they sing?
No, it's all instrumental, but there's a horrible sort of synthy melody about.
Here's their version. Hang on a second. Here's their version of Strawberry Fields Forever. Hang on a second. This is a classic.
I haven't got this.
Here we go. This is a classic. Here it comes. And. Of course, this isn't Tangerine Dream. This is Candy Flip. Do you remember this?
I used to like this.
I remember this was a hit when I worked in B-Jam, so I'm going to say 1988. Maybe a bit later. Here we go.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm
Yeah. They used to use this beat for everything, didn't they?
You've just reminded me. That has just reminded me of something, because the singer looks like Will Young, right? Get Tris. I saw a poster, right?
Yeah.
Will Young is doing a concert. Good for him.
Okay.
Guess who his opening act is. Guess who's opening up for Will Young?
Do you want to rephrase
that? Come on now, please.
Is it Gareth Gates?
No. Oh.
It should be.
No. Let me give you.
I don't know the difference between those two. They're the same.
They are the same.
No.
I can give you a clue.
Will Young wasn't as manufactured.
Have I got it here? Oh, we go. Here's a clue as to who is the opening act for Will Young. Here we go. Please welcome, supporting Will Young, it's Mr. Billy Ocean!
No.
Billy Ocean? Billy Ocean is and this is the band playing it. It's Billy Ocean backstage going, "I'm opening up for who? No. I'm not no, I don't care. I'm not going out there. You told me that he was opening up for. I'm Billy Ocean, for crying out loud. Just get out there, Bill. The band are playing. I don't give a stuff. Listen, when the going gets tough, Billy Ocean gets going. I'm off. See you later." And then there's pandemonium because the band are playing and no one can sing. No one's there. And do you know what happens? A spotlight shines in the audience. And it focuses on me. And they hand me a microphone.
Oh, no.
And I stand up and I sing.
No one needs this.
Taking my heart, so what can I do? Oh, baby, the love really hurts without you.
Ooh, get off!
It's breaking me heart. It's not my fault, Billy Ocean.
Billy Ocean!
It's not my fault. Billy Ocean's gone home. He didn't realise he was opening for Will Young. He thought he was the Will Young. Just let me do it. I'm doing my best.
Fair enough. Carry on.
Thank you very much indeed. Oh, now, baby, you don't know how much you mean to me.
Say all the words.
I don't know the words or have a grasp on the tune at all, but baby, I don't know the song. I have to be completely honest. But Billy Ocean's gone home. He's gone.
I don't blame him.
The going gets tough. Billy Ocean gets going.
I quite like Will Young. He seems like a clever man.
I presented Will Young with an award once.
I bet he's lovely.
I don't know. Tris, you've taken a good pounding for the last 25 minutes, and I appreciate you being such a good sport about it.
Not a problem, mate.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. There we go. 0844 499 1000. Evening, dear listener. We've got Owen Elliot coming on at 12:30. It's a name you're probably not familiar with. She's the daughter of Cass Elliot. Some of you may know her better as Mama Cass, who is one of my favourite singers. I am absolutely in love with that woman. And as well as being brilliant in the Mamas and Papas, she also recorded some astounding solo albums, which hardly anybody knows about. And I'm kind of making it my life's mission. Her last 3 albums, I think it is, and the album she did with Dave Mason. So 4 albums. I'm making it my life's mission that I want everybody to own those records by the time I die, because they are just wonderful masterpieces that sold maybe a dozen copies. Anyway, Owen's coming on about 12:30, and she can tell us all about her mum and about her life and stuff like that. It should be a lot of fun. We'll take calls straight to air in a little bit. I don't know when, but until then, the way it works is I'm sat here. Kath's gone off to make the podcast. Id is through there. Id, you okay?
Well, I'm all good.
You're back on the glasses today. We've had the contact lenses, the CLs recently. Glasses suit you. You've got a face. You've got a face that A, needs a good slap.
Okay.
But B, glasses, they kind of complete you.
They frame up my face, my partner tells me.
They do. And it's like some people need a beard. Noel Edmonds needs a beard. I think I'm one of those people that
You're
needs a beard.
looking good with the beard. I saw the before and after photos, and it's looking good.
You didn't know me without a beard.
I know, but I Googled you when I heard Ian Lee was coming to Talk Radio, and I thought, okay, he hasn't got a beard here, so which one is he in this lineup?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a beard
The
now.
beard started at Christmas. This is the first time. This is the longest I've ever had, and I'm sticking with it. I think I'm sticking with it.
It's looking good. You should keep it going.
Thank you, man. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. Dave's in Luton.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Good morning, boss. Welcome back.
Now, is this you or is this a recording?
Yes.
Right, okay. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
All right, hang on a minute. I can play. Okay, go on. You go first.
Yes. 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 Who's that? Who the hell is Ginger Baker? Ah, dear, oh, pray. Just shut it, pal. Are you real? Oonga, 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 shanga, oonga, oonga, oonga. Oh, never mind. Oh, God. Have I won? Yes. Da, 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 da.
You've got more clips than I have. How can you send me all of your clips?
Yes.
Could you do that? Thank you, because you've got more clips than me.
Yeah, I know it is now. Yes. Are you real? Garden. What was that? I used to like that programme. What's the matter with it? Dear, dear, dear. On a radio programme, this is. What are you beefing on about?
Listen, you're an absolute player. Whoever you are, please send me those clips, because you've got more clips than I have. How can someone have a better soundboard than the soundboard that I've got? Thank you for that. 0844 499 1000. Bobby's on the line. Oh, thank you, Sam. Sam says I'm listening to Iain Lee on Talk Radio for the first time tonight. It's bloody brilliant. Thank you, Sam. Nice one, man. Or girl. I don't know if you're a man or a girl. Let me have a little look. There'll be it's a man. It's a man. It's a man. Bobby's on the line. Yes, Bobby.
Hello.
Hello, Bobby. What you got for us?
Okay, it wasn't a celebrity I met under 10, but I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I used to regularly serve.
Well, hang on a minute. It's very, 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 very specific, Bobby. I didn't want people calling in and saying they were 15 and they met somebody. It had to be under the age of 10.
Well, I couldn't work under the age of 10.
Oh, fair play. You got me there on a technicality. Go on then. Imagine if Julia Hartley-Brewer turned on now and heard me potentially cutting off a caller because they called in on the wrong subject. She'd be going, no! Send them my way! Give them to me! I'm going to keep you, Bobby, just to rub her nose in it. Go on then.
I used to regularly serve Paul Martin. And...
Hang on a second. Who?
Paul Martin.
I know. Oh, from Don't Tell Me. Don't Tell Me. It's the Flog It.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Flog It. Of course. For a second. Of course. How could I forget? Yes, from Flog It. Yes.
And Charles Ingram.
Flippin' it. You really make it. I mean, I don't know if it was worth keeping you on. Who's Charles Ingram?
He was the person who cheated on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
We're in it now. We might as well go with it. What establishment were those two gentlemen coming into?
A DIY store.
Okay. Well, let's ask. What did the cheating major buy?
To be honest, it was 8 years ago. I can't remember.
Oh, Bobby, this is awful.
I'm sorry.
You've called in you've had such good calls, such strong calls, Bobby, such powerful calls, and you're letting yourself down with this.
I know.
I'm going to ask you what the bloke from Flog It bought, and you're going to tell me something really exciting and perhaps a little bit sexy, okay?
Okay.
What did the bloke from Flog It buy in the DIY shop?
He bought some rope and some duct tape.
Mr. Gray.
To be honest, they probably did.
Have you seen?
Rope and duct tape.
Right, have you seen 50 Shades of Grey, the film?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Not really. I read the books and the film was a bit of a letdown.
The film was boring, isn't it? I went, me and Kath took, again, at the last place we were at, we took Dennis, who calls in from time to time. He's a 92-year-old gentleman. We took him to see 50 Shades of Grey. And it was so funny. It was the whole cinema was filled with women apart from us. Well, and Kath, obviously. Yeah. And the moment when Christian Grey opens the door to the dungeon, the sex dungeon, Dennis very loudly went, "That looks just like my garage, that does!" At which point the woman in front turned round and told me to shut up. I said, "It's not me, it's the old boy." It's a very, very tedious film, and they're supposed to be making the next two. I don't think they will, because it did so badly. Why was she never wearing a bra?
I don't know, but to be honest, I didn't really notice, but you would, Ian.
Well, no, I was noticing the practicalities. I thought, well, she's going to be chilly. She needs, they're flying about in a helicopter, she's going to be cold, she needs a bra. But have you seen, and I cannot, if anybody has seen this film, right, not 50 Shades of Grey, the one I'm about to mention, let me know, because I saw a trailer for this film, and I could not believe they'd made it, because I cannot, for the life of me, think... Do you remember when we took Dennis to see 50 Shades of Grey?
What, his garage?
There is a film, and I cannot for the life of me imagine who would put down hard-earned dollar to go and see the spoof version of 50 Shades of Grey entitled 50 Shades of Black. And what it is, it's like Scream is a parody, isn't it, of horror films?
It's a sort of pastiche.
Yeah. It's like a sort of like a National Lampoon. It's kind of like, it's just a spoof of 50 Shades of Grey with a black cast, and they do things like, he goes to smack her bum and she goes, I don't think so, all that kind of, and then they have an argument, and this is all in the trailer, they have an argument, and the guy says, no, this isn't working, we need to argue like black people. Oh, girlfriend, I don't think so. Oh.
Wow.
It is the weird, and it's what? If anybody has seen that film, then 50 Shades of Black, 0844 499 1000. Stay there. We've been joined by royalty on the line. Stay there, Bobby. Okay. Dennis.
Hello.
Have you recovered from seeing 50 Shades of Grey yet?
Yeah, but they didn't say that woman had had the full Brazilian as well.
Wow.
She's lying behind a velvety curtain.
Thank you very much indeed, Dennis. There we go.
Dennis's contribution for the evening. Tell you what annoyed me most about that film.
I'm so sorry about that, Bobby.
It wasn't the fact that he looked like he was having trouble acting like someone who could walk. Yeah. I mean, he really was. I mean, he was a very good-looking man, and that's the only thing that really saved it for me. But he splashed out he spent all that money buying her lingerie, right? He only ever bought her pants.
I've said this. No bra.
No bra.
No bra.
Cheapskate.
Yeah, no bra.
Cheapskate.
No
I bet
bra.
they were a 3 for 2.
Here's the thing. She's someone's daughter, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Whose daughter is she?
We're all someone's daughter.
Oh my God, I saw a thing about it today.
You know, Melanie Griffith.
That's it.
And who's
And Don Johnson.
Yeah, that's Don Johnson. That's it. Yeah. Are they going to make the other two films?
They are making it. Yeah.
Because that one, and is that woman Sam? I'm going to say Sam Smith directing it.
I don't.
Sam Bueller-Brown.
She and E.L. Is it E.L. James?
E.L. Wisty.
Didn't get.
Well,
the rumour was they didn't get along, but I don't know how much of that's true and how much of that is just to generate headlines. I think that she would have seen that it was a stinker. It was absolutely. It wasn't sexy. Right, here's the thing. Right, it wasn't. It was a boring story. It was a boring story. He needed a slap back.
It wasn't funny. He was quite unpleasant. It wasn't erotic in any way. And even if it was on a late Saturday night and it was just me at home, I wouldn't watch it, if you know what I mean. There was nothing going on at all. I've got all 3 books and I've read 1.5, because even I got to the point where I was like, you know what? She can't get past chapter 3.
I just got bored of it. It's, this old thing
Yeah,
again.
it does get boring after a while, doesn't it?
I read all 3 in 2.5 weeks.
Did you?
Yeah.
Here we go. This, I'm going to cross the streams here. I read all 3 in 9.5 weeks.
Oh.
That's like...
Well done.
Thank you, that's like
Well
erotic.
done.
That's erotic,
Well
isn't it?
done.
See what I've done there?
I've never seen that
was
film,
good,
but he gets the utterly buttily out, doesn't he, in that?
I've not seen 9.5 weeks. The only reason it's in my head is because I watched this brilliant documentary, Bobby. The thing about Netflix, right, is it makes us lower our standards of what we'd actually be prepared to watch.
Because you feel like you're getting it for nothing.
Agree.
Yeah, we watch stuff that is... I like to watch films that are 7, 8, 9 out of 10. With Netflix, I'll watch a 4, 5, 6, right? And I watched this documentary, Chuck Norris versus Communism, and it's really good. It's quite dry, but it's really good. You'd like it, Kath.
Right.
It's about Romania in the 80s, when it's a communist regime under Ceausescu. And it's something, a period and a location I know nothing about. And this guy would smuggle in like Chuck Norris movies, and 9.5 Weeks was one of the movies. And then this one woman would dub them, and so she'd be going, I want to make love to you. Oh, okay, you can make love to. But she wouldn't.
She did the men's voices too.
Yeah, she did it all. But she wouldn't do swear words.
Oh.
So if it was like a Rambo film where it's all like F you F
Forget
off.
you.
No, she'd just go, why don't you go to hell, you moron? Oh, it's a good film. It's a good film. Hang on a second. He's calling in again. Yes, Dennis. Oh, the phones aren't working straight to air. Bobby, listen, excellent call. Thanks for calling in. And Bobby's gone as well. I don't know what we did there. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000. Well, I feel like we haven't properly... I've got loads of full switchboard. I feel like... But there's a couple of lines free if you do want to call in. I feel like we haven't started the show properly. Someone has just... is it Adrian? Who is it? I get confused. Dan says, I've just tuned in as we were doing other things. Can I have an update for the first hour and a half? I don't know what we've talked about, if I'm completely honest.
Restaurants.
Well, we didn't really... They were mentioned.
Yeah. Well, we've just covered 50 Shades of Grey, how boring it was.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Russ?
Hello.
Your audition piece for tonight, right? This is whether I decide whether you can come on or not, right? You have to sum up the last hour and a half for Dan, who's listening. Away you go.
Well, you've been referring to the email regarding last night's interview with Jim Dale.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
There's more interesting. You're revelling in the compliments from said gentleman. You've had Cass Calf.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I hope she cooked her bacon and sausages properly, because I don't like raw bacon. That pink rubber, it's pink and rubbery.
Thank you very much. Who likes raw bacon? Why don't I like raw bacon? I want it crispy. I want it crunchy. Not like they have it in American hotels, though.
Where you put your fork in it and it disintegrates.
You can snap it. No. I'd like a good crispy bit of bacon, but no, the American bacon. What the hell are those?
I hate it when you go in a cafe and say, "Can you do my bacon really well done, please?" And it comes out and it's still pink and rubbery. And I'm like, crying out loud.
I never go into a cafe and tell them how I want the bacon done. I just go and I'll have a number 5. Hold the mushrooms. I'll have a fried slice instead, please. That's what I do. That's how my breakfast work.
Oh, I always find you have to tell them. Most cafes always do it so it's sort of pink and rubbery and.
Thank you.
I don't want to eat it like that. It's disgusting.
Have you ever killed anyone, Russ?
Not yet.
Exactly, and because that's such a strange attention to detail, ordering how you want the bacon to be done, and then it probably does come back well done. No, we'll get him, please. Here, thank you. It probably does come back well done, but you're so psychotic, you're so enraged about the number of immigrants that we have over here, and whether we're going to be in or out of Europe. The black cabs, that you don't see it, that it's well done. And that, I think, Russ, is why people like you need to be watched very, very carefully.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Please do. Yeah, I've just basically said you're a potential murderer, and he's taken it as a compliment. I think my case is proven, Your Honour. It's over to the defence. Anyway, Russ, what you got?
Oh, I just wanted to comment on the musical... The music that you've been playing, was it Littlest Hobo theme tune?
Yes.
And The Full Guy just takes me back to my
childhood on a weekend television.
Did you ever have a full guy bath?
We did. I don't know where the hell. Oh, I tell you what, it came from a neighbour, an old lady who'd got like an old farm, and I used to fill it up in the summer in the back garden and use it like a paddling pool.
What was it, like a big wooden barrel?
No, one of them tin baths.
He had a tin. Oh! And Russ, you've saved the show for the next hour and a half. If you've ever places you've had a bath. 08444991000.
I was about to call time on the 80s telly reminiscence.
No, it was worth pursuing.
But yes,
I'm Cass. I'm sure you've told me this. Well, I've had baths in the kitchen sink before now.
I have. And my grand's kitchen sink faced the street.
Yeah, it was the old days. I've never had a tin bath. I'd love to have a go in a tin bath. In front of the fire downstairs, what luxury?
But it depends. You were the youngest.
Yeah.
So you get the last water.
Yeah. I had dirty bath water.
Oh.
I've had it in the bath after Dad, Mum, my sister, and then me. I've had that. That's horrible, that's disgusting, actually, isn't it? That really is disgusting.
My mum was one of four daughters.
Yeah.
And Mum and Dad as well.
4 daughters.
She was 4. Yes.
4 daughters.
4 daughters.
I'd like 4. Hello, I'd like 4 daughters, please. 4 daughters? No, 4... Hang on a minute.
You're right.
Daughters for my Ford.
Okay.
I'm doing the 4 candles.
I know. Well,
I'd like daughters for my Ford, please. You should have just got in and want candles for my forks. I don't know.
Anyway, she was one of 4, so, she was the 6th person to get in that bath, and it wasn't pleasant.
Oh, there you go. Russ, excellent call. Thanks very much indeed. 08444991000. Where have you had a bath, dear listener? I tell you what, let's try it. Let's just throw this out there. Mark's the next caller. I'm going to go straight in and ask him, okay? You ready?
Go on.
Where have you had a bath, Mark?
Hampstead Heath Pond.
Oh! I just felt that vibe off you. I had a friend, right? For those who don't know, there are 2 kind of ponds in Hampstead Heath. There's one now. Are there 2 or there 3? There's one for the men and one for the women. Is there a unisex one as well?
Yeah, there is a unisex one. Yeah.
My mate used to go swimming in the men's one. You're allowed to go nudie as well, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, you are, yeah.
He used to go for a swim in it, like, really early in the morning. It was free. I know the place very well. I used to live kind of round that way and would go for walks.
You used to live in Muswell Hill, didn't you? I lived in Muswell Hill for about 15 years. And I was in North London for a long time, in Crouch End and Highgate and all around there. So I know that area really well. I could never... Have you actually been in those ponds, Mark? Yeah, I've been in one of them, yeah. Oh. Not the nudie one.
No, I couldn't. I could not do it. It would be freezing. And are there fish in there?
They say there's fish in there, but they never came near me, which I don't know.
What does that say about your lower regions?
Dear.
I just don't know. No, it's...
Listen, Ian,
yes.
why I rang up is because you're top man on this show, on this radio station now, aren't you?
Well, first of all, on this show, correct. That goes without saying. The others do my bidding.
Well, and I'm not a man.
Idea.
Well, but...
I've got an idea.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Right. I listen a bit of Ross. He's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really... Hartley Brewer, I don't get her. So what about a dream ticket replacing Hartley Brewer?
No, listen, we're not... What, me replacing her?
No, not you.
No, listen, I know what you're saying.
I've got 2 names for you.
No, go on.
Justin Dealey and Kelly Betts.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea. Listen, we're not. Listen, it's early days of the station. Thank you for the call, Mark. It's early days of the station, and I don't want to play the let's knock all the other presenters because everyone's kind of finding their feet, and we've been kind of lucky, I think, Kath, in that we've worked together in the last place we were at, and we've kind of sort of transported the bits of that show that we wanted over here, and fortunately, a load of people have come from that show. A load of people have come from other shows that I've done. A load of people have come from talk radio from the 90s, and a load of new people have come, and it's sort of, the stars have kind of aligned. But everyone else is just finding their feet, and I don't want to knock everybody. I don't want to knock anybody. Do you know what I mean? Early days, a year down the line, yeah, totally. We'll rip them to pieces. But everyone's just finding their feet, and they'll get there at different times. But I listened to a bit of Hartley Brewer today. I don't agree with a single thing that woman says. I find her views repugnant, and I've told her that. You know what I said to her when I was with her on Sky?
I know exactly what you said to her.
I'll tell you, I did Sky Paper Review with her, And it was about the time that the pictures of that Syrian laddie, that 4-year-old boy that died, was washed up on the beach.
Alan Kurdi.
And we were talking about Syrian refugees, and I was suggesting that we should bring some Syrian refugees here, and she was really against it. She said something along the lines of the parents that let that boy die, there was bad parenting, and how come it's all fit young men that we see there, and they should be at home fighting for their country, and you're only saying you want to take refugees so that you feel better for yourself. And we had this row on telly. And then during the break, normally those things kind of stop. But during the break, it carried on. Well, no, she carried on. I was like, I'm not getting paid for this. And she carried on. And I just turned to her and said, Julia, you are a flipping... no, it wasn't flipping. You are a flipping disgraceful human being. Silence on the set. And I have to go and spend another hour and a half in a green room with her. And we get on. But I disagree completely with every single view that woman has. And that's why I quite enjoy listening from time to time. I couldn't do a full 3 hours, but that's why I enjoy dipping in. So many people say, well, how can you listen to someone that you disagree with on the radio? A presenter we can't mention, but is coming up later on in the year, gets people very angry because they disagree with him. I don't want to listen because I disagree with him. I love listening to people I disagree with. A, because it makes me challenge why I think something. And B, I quite like being angry. I quite like being in my car and listening to a presenter saying something. Oh, you absolute bloody idiot! Well, of course that's wrong.
But it also helps you. You said it. I mean, the first thing you said was it helps you form your own thoughts on the matter, right? I disagree with her. Why do I disagree with her? And how would I counter that?
And I like listening to people I agree with. I mean, there are a couple of presenters on another station I'm thinking of in particular who I tend to agree with politically. But I think I get the bigger emotional reaction from listening to people that I disagree with. Mm-hmm. And Julia is one of them. I think her views are abhorrent, but I like listening to her abhorrent views.
But sometimes you can listen to someone who you disagree with fundamentally, but you can appreciate the artistry that they can spin something. You can say, do you know what? I can see why they think that,
And if I'm completely honest, I'm asleep when Ross is on doing that's not in any disservice to him. Doing this shift and on these new meds I'm on, I on the way home I popped this mirtazapine, and then by the time I get home, I'm beat and I'm out. If I've not got the kids the next day, I'm out for 12 hours. Sometimes.
I'm largely unmedicated, and my sleep patterns are completely up the swanny as well.
So sorry, Paul. I'm sure.
I do listen back for my best dogs.
You do, of course.
And he does some good stuff.
Well, I'm sure he does. Good luck, Paul. But mate, I'm out for the count when that's on. Let's have a quick break.
What would be the one event that you would like to happen that hasn't happened? What's the one bit of proof that you would like to go to a base and get?
I've never seen a Phantom aircraft land on an airfield in front of me.
There you go. You see, I've got a clip somewhere that my roving reporter, Leon Gower, I say roving reporter, he's done one package for me, has sent me, and I keep forgetting to play it. He did a vox pop. He went to the streets and told people that I had a new job on the radio. And I cannot, for the life of me, find... Can you talk to Jay while I look for it? You talk to Jay.
Hiya, Jay, you all right?
Hello.
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 Go on, talk to me.
I'm on the radio?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, hell. Right,
why are you surprised about that, Jay? You phoned the radio.
Here for 20 minutes waiting for something to happen. Listening to
You've been sat there. You've been sat there for 9 minutes.
Anyway, Jay, it's happening. Go on.
It all seems twice as long,
I'll tell you about it.
Anyway, here we go. I've got a little story for you. You wanted celebrity stories. What was it? Before you were 7?
Before you were 10.
Before you were 10, yeah.
Before you were 10. Well, this one, I think I was about 5. So.
Well, that counts.
That counts, yes, yeah. Surely that makes the bracket.
Got it.
Sort of mid to late 70s, Catford Theatre, Christmas panto.
It's going to be a good one. I can feel it. Yeah.
Family panto. There we are. Bernie Clifton's sort of running the show.
Literally running the show with that crazy ostrich.
No, he didn't have all that back then.
Did he not?
No, I don't remember seeing any furry animals or anything. It was just him.
Wow. Okay.
I was sort of sipping my tea.
Yeah. Go on, fella.
And
no rush.
So he gets us all up. You know how they do. Get all the kids up, don't they? Sort of halfway through the panto.
Yeah.
Do some little whatever with them and stuff, And then anyway, he sends them all back to their seats, keeps me back. I was like, oh dear, I'm all up there on my own. Pulls out this big trombone.
What?
We didn't pull it out, but someone probably handed it to him.
Yeah.
And So all of a sudden, he's there. He's got me. Have a go at the trombone. Have a go at the trombone. Hundreds of people in front of me. Catford Fair, a little kid. I'm about 5.
Yeah.
You know, oh my God, it's never going to work. This song, be able to blow down the trombone. And they got a note out the trombone.
Yeah.
House went up, didn't it? I couldn't believe it. They loved me. Thought I was great.
Is that the? And that's
excellent story.
And what? And hang on a second. No, he's pausing for another sip of tea. What? And then you got the bug for blowing trombones, and now you're in the Royal Philharmonic.
Last time I ever blew a trombone.
I always find there's always a bit in Panto where they get up like 6 kids and they go along the line. I always find that really humiliating for the kids because there's always a joke at one of the kids' expense. The audience is laughing at one of the kids for the wrong reason, and it always makes me very, very uncomfortable. It's funny. It is funny to boo.
They get a goodie bag at the end of it, though, don't they?
But they're humiliated. I know that
more than a goodie bag. I got a Sainsbury's shopping trolley full of gear.
Sweet.
What was in there?
I couldn't believe it. It was loads and loads of stuff. It was like Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jack!
Sort of pile you up.
Now we don't do old kids shows, but this is a brilliant competition, right? They used to do on Cracker Jack, right?
Cabbages.
The cabbages. So they give you a scale electric. Was it just cabbages you were holding?
Hold all the prizes.
You held all the prizes, and then they give you cabbages or did they just give you cabbages? And if you dropped a cabbage, you were out.
Prize.
I think if you got the question wrong, they gave you a cabbage.
Ah.
What did you have to drop then to get out? A cabbage or the scale electric?
I think if you just drop, I think you had to drop the. I don't know. Actually, I can't remember. It was.
Did they? They either gave you. They must have just given you cabbages. They must have given you. Yeah, no. They couldn't have given you because the prizes were in a big pile.
That's true. A kid at my school, Ashmead Primary in Deptford, went on Cracker Jack.
Cracker Jack.
We all went with him. You know, well, I say we all went. The first 80 people that turned up the next day with the ticket. I was first at the gate. But anyway, I was there.
Yeah.
Cracker Jack.
Can I just play? I'm sorry. Just for 1 second. If you don't mind me interrupting, I just feel the need to play this clip. Hang on.
Your show's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I used to listen to Andy Goldstein, but you're much better.
Hey! Don't know why I feel the urge to play that. I don't know why I feel the urge to play it. I don't know. It's almost as if Andy was playing out a little pre-recorded section of his show on Talk, and he's coming to our studio to
eyeball us.
To eyeball us. Anyway, carry on. Yes, Jay.
Oh, where was I? Oh, yeah.
You were holding the cabbage.
We went to Cracker Jack.
Ever been ripped off by a prostitute?
Have I what? Sorry?
You were at Cracker Jack?
Sorry, you were a bit crackly there.
Yeah, you were at Cracker Jack?
Yeah.
And what?
I was at Cracker Jack, and the kid from our school, anyway, he wins Cracker Jack.
Yeah, won it.
I remember on the way back, we were on the coach going along in Victoria Embankment or something like that, along the Thames.
Yeah.
And he was behind in the car with his mum.
Oh,
and I was looking out the back, sort of spying him.
Yeah.
And he had this. The main sort of gift or prize that he had was one of those single deck cassette recorders. I thought it was a bit rubbish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See,
is that all he gets?
Well, but is that the only thing he won, or did he win other things?
He must have won other things, but that was the only thing I remember making a fuss about. I don't think he was too keen on the other prizes.
Flip it, ungrateful so-and-so. You got to choose your prizes. That was the thing, wasn't it?
That was it, yeah. I think that must have been the main prize, the expensive electrical item.
Yeah. Well, disappointing.
Maybe.
Jay, at least you're still not bitter 35 years later.
Not at all. I had a great time. I was hanging out with the great Stupendo on the upper deck.
Big bad boof. Is that what you used to say?
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Jay. Excellent stuff. 0844 499 1000. Rosie's on the line. Yes, Rosie.
Hiya. Hello.
Hiya.
Oh, yeah. I've got a few famous people.
Well, were you under the age of 10?
Yes,
I'm going to be strict on this.
I know who you think I'm going to say, but it's not him.
You always say.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't under 10.
Forget your granddad, right? Forget your granddad.
Well,
even though he invented Ribena, get over it. He's
had
been
a hand in this, but no, I met Sooty.
He had a hand in it. There we go.
Hey. Oh, yeah, that's good. I met Sooty. I've met Cliff Richard and Princess Anne.
Good singer, and she's a horse. She's a very horsey lady. That's rude of me. That's rude. She's very beautiful.
I've stood on my head in front of Princess Anne and looked through my legs at her.
The royal family, you see, that's the thing. Who was the one in the middle?
Sorry?
Oh, Sooty. I
thought you meant Prince Edward.
No, Sooty. I interviewed Sooty once on the 11 o'clock show.
Did
right?
you?
Yeah, I interviewed him, but it wasn't Corbett. It was because Corbett sold him, right?
Mr. Matthew.
So it was someone else, right?
It's his son.
And he wasn't. He sold it. I think he's bought it back now, but he sold it, or he licenses it. And it was this old boy, right? And Sooty had a water pistol, and he was squirting everyone. And I said to Sooty, if you squirt me, I'm going to punch that old man. Sooty never squirted. To this day, Sooty has never squirted me. Never squirted me. Rosie, thank you very much indeed. I'm cracking on because we're getting up to midnight and we've got a shed load of calls. Gillian.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Gillian. We've not spoken before, have we?
No, I was watching you on Periscope. So I'm a scoper.
Have you found us via Periscope?
Yes, I found you.
Email the bosses. Email the bosses. It works. It works.
It does work, yes.
Excellent.
@easily_bruised. Easily_bruised, just in case anyone wants to follow me.
I'm easily bruised as well. I'm terrible.
Hang on a minute. What is anybody actually... Well, hang on a minute. You've said it. What's at... I'm going to
easily _bruised.
Bruise.
Bruised, yeah, like easily bruised. Yeah.
You're Miss... OK, well, let's find out a little bit about you. Miss Gillian McComb, you have a selfie where you are showing you with dog's ears.
Oh, let me see.
Dog's nose, and I'm going to be honest, cleavage.
Oh!
A little bit of Cleavington. You are from Scotland.
Yes.
You've had cancer.
Yes.
You are a nice person.
Yes.
You enjoy acting and singing. They are your passions.
Yes.
And you think your hero is The Rock.
Yes. That's a lot of information.
That's a lot of information to squeeze into your tiny Twitter bio. And you know, so well done. And you have a really ugly dog.
Oh,
don't you even dare start on Donna the dog.
Donna! That is an awesome name.
We've all known a few Donna the dogs, I think, in our time. And did you find us tonight via Periscope?
Well, I did see you guys last night, just before you finished, just before it ended, and then so I followed.
This is interesting, right? Okay, in that case, this is proven to me it's worth doing because I've never, Gillian, I've never quite got what the point of Periscope is. How did you, if you didn't know me and you didn't know this show, how did you find us yesterday then?
Someone shared it, so people share things on Periscope, and then whoever you follow, they get a notification to say, come and watch this.
And you liked what you saw the end of last night?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay.
Well, she wouldn't say she liked it. It was all right.
It was okay.
It was okay.
But do you? Because I watch Periscope from time to time, but I don't really get it. Okay, and I tend to go to America and watch the people doing Periscope in America because they're generally nuts, and I wind them up. I'm quite offensive to them. I call them all kinds of things.
You're not a troll, are you?
Well, now. That is, well, no, I don't think I am a troll because it's my name. I use my name.
Oh, well, that's okay. See, if you don't use your name...
It is okay. It is okay.
You're just offensive.
To bully people online if you use your own name, I think.
I don't take it personally if they've got a picture of an egg. If they've got one...
Well, that's it.
If they've got one follower...
What if they've got doggy ears, a doggy nose and boobs?
She's gorgeous. I'd be very upset. But I also look down at their feed, and if they just do it to everyone, I just think, oh, well...
that's really... do you know what? Okay, because I hadn't got my head around whether carrying... I've got a blooming... what do they call that? Tripod. I bring a tripod in and put my phone on it, and I hadn't worked out if it was worth doing. But if we've got just one listener listening to us just once... Have you got a Radar diary?
A what?
It was a waste of time. Waste of time. Anyway, Gillian, what have you got for us?
Okay, so I've got a few celebrity stories which all involve singing, actually.
Okay, and wait 1 second. Craig?
Yes, hi.
Can we give you a call back after the news? Is that okay? Because I suspect Gillian's going to go on and on and on and on.
Right,
and on and on and on. Is that all right, Craig?
Yeah,
Speak to you in a minute. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Go on, Gillian. Go on.
Okay, so you already mentioned the fact that I had cancer, and my friends put me in for a TV show called Tonight's Night, and I got to sing with Paloma Faith, who is absolutely amazing, by the way.
Very, very gummy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Got big gums. But hang on a minute. So you got to... Hang on a minute. You got to sing with Paloma Faith because you had cancer?
Yeah.
Fair play. I mean, fair play. Fair
You've got to
play.
use the cancer card at least once.
Yeah, well, do you know what? If you're going to
If you've
play
got the card.
if you're going to play any cards, then go with the cancer card. Definitely. Oh, well done, you.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thanks. And then there's this other time that's quite embarrassing, actually. So I was about 14, and Blue were in Glasgow doing a tour. And two of the guys, Anthony and Simon, were in town shopping and things. Yeah. And I noticed them and I ran up to them. This is so cringy. So basically I was like, yes, Simon, hi, whatever. And I started singing to him.
Oh, God, you're one of them.
Started singing. And he's like, oh, sorry, love, you've got the wrong Simon. You need Simon Cowell. And I don't know what I thought I was going to do. I don't know if I thought I was going to get a place in the band or something. That I thought he was going to be like...
No, I know exactly what you thought. You thought was going to happen, Gillian. You thought it was going to be like, hey, flippin' heck, you're brilliant. And our opening act has just dropped out. Come with us. I've been at gigs. When I used to go to gigs when I was 15, 16, 17... I always hoped that a member of the band wouldn't turn up and they go, look, guys, is there anybody that can play the guitar or the drums? And I go, yes! In fact, I did that on the TV. I did that on the Danny Baker show years and years ago. Gillian, it's so nice to talk to you. I've got to go because we've got to go and do the news and all that. But I'm really pleased that you found us via Periscope. That proves that is worth doing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's a permanent fixture. That was a brilliant call. Thank you so much. Craig, we're going to come back to you after the news and then we'll take some calls straight to air. We'll do a little bit of that as well. The phone number, dear listener, if you want it, is 08444991000. You can text the word talk followed by your message to 87222. Text costs 25 pence plus your standard network rate. If you want to watch us on Periscope, I don't really know how you... Periscope.tv/Iain Lee. That'll do it. Thanks very much indeed. It's been an absolute pleasure to teach people how radio really is made.
Talk Radio.
OK, we're going to talk to Craig. We will talk to you. Bless your patience. Thank you. We had a big run of calls there. I'm not quite sure what happened. Coming up after the news, we'll speak to Craig. We'll take your call straight to air. I'll have a cup of tea. And at 12:30, I'm very excited. We've got Owen Elliot coming on. You don't know who Owen Elliot is, and that's not a problem at all. But she is the daughter of Cass Elliot, Mama Cass from the Mamas and the Papas, who is one of my favourite singers of all time. I absolutely love that woman. And the closest I'm ever going to get to her is speaking to Owen. We'll have more after the news on Talk Radio. Well. OK, so you can listen to us online and on your DAB, and you know there's an app as well. Have you got the app? Do you know about the app? If you've got I've got the app on my phone. My phone's up there. I'm doing the Periscope, so you can listen on talkradio.co.uk. There's also a podcast for this show. I think John's got a best of podcast as well, a weekly podcast, and I think there'll be other podcasts coming for other shows. But if you want mine or John Holmes' podcast, go to iTunes or your usual podcast provider. I know some of you are very anti-Apple. Type in Iain Lee and talk, and up it comes, and they're all there, the best of podcasts. 08444991000. After midnight at the moment, we're kind of taking calls straight to air. But before we do that, let's go to Craig, who's been waiting for blooming hours. Evening, Craig. Thank you for your patience.
No problem at all. It's great to have you back, sir.
Thank you, boss. What you got for us?
Well, I'm a scoper.
Oh, hello.
Is that what we're called, scopers?
I guess so. But were you aware of this show before the Periscope, or did the Periscope?
Yes, I was.
You were.
Yes,
okay,
I was.
brilliant, lovely.
But I tell you, there is an added knock-on or a benefit of having Periscope, which is that you've got the screen on, and of course the screen's keeping you awake longer.
Yeah.
That means you listen longer. So that's
but unfortunately, the Periscope doesn't count towards our listening figures.
But you have to have your radio. Maybe you have to have a rule that you have to have your radio on as well.
But the thing is that I don't know how. Well, the listening figures for radio worked out in a really odd way. It's a thing called a Radar Diary, and what you have...
I've got one of those, yes.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man, they're worth a... And the way it works is you have to... it lists most of the radio stations. It probably won't even list Talk Radio, so what you'd have to do is write in Talk Radio, and then you tick... I think it's such a... I've not seen one for years. You tick, like, each 15 minutes or half an hour that you've been listening. So, the whole thing is based on you... If you're listening to a slightly obscure station like this one, you remembering to write the name of the station in, and then remembering to write the name of the presenter in, and then remembering to tick it.
I'm writing all this down. I tell you what, my wife actually did have one of those diaries a little while ago, and I absolutely insisted that she listened to a radio station that wasn't in our catchment area that you might have been on. So.
Oh, well, may God bless you for that. You don't actually have to listen as long as you write it down. You don't have to be honest in there. But you're very kind. What you got for us, Craig?
Well, I was 9, and I was living in a place called Laycock.
Steady on, mate. Come on, I know we're after midnight. No need to be so filthy.
Oh, sorry. Basically, we used to get, because it's a very old village, we used to get lots of sort of celebrities come down and film. And I remember this one guy, and he was an absolutely lovely. I just remember him to this day.
Yeah.
And his name, sir, was Rhys Dinsdale.
Oh, Rhys Dinsdale. Now, I have a very, very soft spot. Hang on a second, Greg. One second. Kath, who's Rhys Dinsdale? He's been mentioned he's been mentioned this week on this show.
Every night, probably.
Probably every night.
Was he Norman Wisdom's boss, Mr. Dinsdale? I don't know. Hang on.
My sister had a crush on him, and if she's listening, she's probably still got... Have you still got the signed photo, Joe, of Rhys? He was in... OK, well, he recently he's been in Coronation Street, although... he was in Threads... He got nuked in Threads. More importantly, he was in Channel 4. I think the first sitcom on Channel 4, Home to Roost.
He was with John Ford.
John Ford as his dad, and Rhys Dinsdale is like his scruffy son who wouldn't get a job.
Quite a pronounced nose.
Big nose, yeah, but he was a bit of a heartthrob.
Yeah, I like a big nose.
Yeah.
He was, and he was such a lovely guy. And they were filming Robin of Sherwood, and he was starring in that. And I just remember him, and we were kids at the time, and he just took time to come and say hello, and he was a lovely fella. In fact, he'd make a lovely guest if you ever wanted to do a Fred special.
Possibly. The guests we're getting at the moment are people that are generally, they're people that I really like. Although tomorrow, is it tomorrow? We've got an odd one. Who have we got on tomorrow?
She's right.
Listen to this, Craig. When Kath sold it to me, it's like, yeah, we'll have it.
Are you familiar with the Jeremy Bamber case? Okay, Jeremy Bamber, years and years ago, was convicted for killing his parents.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Now, this is a woman who's been campaigning...
Convicted in 1986 of the murder of his adoptive parents, adoptive sister and her 6-year-old twin sons. The shooting of the family in August 1985 in Essex, England, came to be known as the White House Farm Murders.
Right, we're speaking to a woman tomorrow who believes that it's been a huge miscarriage of justice, and she's been fighting for his freedom for years and years.
And that reminds me, that's my homework tomorrow. Is I need to read up on Bamber.
And can I just say something to you? She does not sound nuts.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be an interesting one.
That will be very different.
Very different from Jim Dale and the daughter of Mama Cass.
The thing is, when I first heard about her, I thought, oh, she must be one of these women who, you hear about women who fixate on men who are in prison, and maybe there's a romantic thing going up. There isn't at all.
Ooh.
So it'll be interesting. What time's she on tomorrow? Do you know? 11:30?
I think 11:30.
All right, brilliant. Craig, listen, nice call, mate. Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate your patience. 0844 499 1000. Let's just take this call because it's been there for ages. Line 6, you're on the wireless.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Gary. It's 90s.
Yes, it's me.
It's 90s. The 1990s. That's 1984, I was going to say, which is not in the 1990s. What would you say is the best song of the 1990s?
Oh, that is a difficult choice.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not. I know the answer.
I bet you like The Shaman.
Yes. Of course, yeah.
Turn your radio off. Turn your radio off.
Sorry, I've got you on Periscope.
Oh, blimey, everyone's watching me, you perverts. No, go on, what is the best song of the 1990s?
Off the top of my head, Cass just reminded me of The Shaman. Everybody's a good. That is a raver, that is.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Oh, get off.
Do you want to hear the best song of the 1990s?
Go on, then.
There we go. Hang on.
I'm hanging on.
Hang on. Shh. I'm hoping there's a counting, otherwise I'm screwed. Oh, it's my...
Hey!
Hang on, here we go. Hang on, here we go. Hang on, here we go. Hang on. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Kept your eyes in the eye and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me. Get back together, come back and see me. 5 weeks since the living room. Better eyes of what it's sake, but it's too soon. Yesterday, you've forgiven me, but I still got the bird bugs on both my knees and... Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X-Files with no lights on, with Don LeMay's on. I hope the Smoky Man's in this one. Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. Like Sting, I'm tantric. Like Snickers, guaranteed to satisfy. Like Kurosawa, I make mad films. K, I don't make films. But if I did, they'd have a samurai. Gonna get... Well, I'm going to keep practicing that, and one day...
You need the fastest bit, though.
One day, I'm going to come in, Gary. We're not going to say anything. I'm just going to do it. You're all going to stand up. Everybody listening to us, all 27 of you are going to stand up, applaud me, and I'm going to walk back out, and I won't ever do radio ever again. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Trust
you
me.
did it well just now.
I did well.
Yeah, but he bulked because it gets faster. One day.
One day. I'm going to keep practicing. We'll try that. Anyway, 90s, what you got for us?
Just that, really. I just wanted to let you know I'm watching. This Periscope stuff is addictive.
Thank you very much indeed. Has anybody... And I'm going to say something that's going to sound horrific.
Oh, God,
but no. But
please don't.
I genuinely think this.
Doesn't make it any less... I don't know, sackable.
It's not sackable. It's just a thought I've had.
Go on.
But I don't want to plant a seed in a terrorist's head.
If you're a terrorist, switch off now.
Has anybody killed anybody or killed themselves on Periscope yet? And if not, why not? Do you know what I mean?
I bet they have.
Well, why haven't we heard about it?
Because they don't get many viewers. They'd have to have a following, wouldn't they? You wouldn't know about it.
Honestly, that's a serious... No, some people get thousands of viewers.
But you have to be one of those people. And for those people, I'm guessing life is good.
Honestly, I have spent a lot of... Since I've been thinking about Periscope last week, I've spent the last 5 or 6 days... That question just keeps popping into my head. Has anybody done it? Why would they do it? If you were watching it, what would you do? I'll tell you why it's in my head as well, if I may. And this is... I'm going to tell an unpleasant story. On PM, on Radio 4, they had an amazing interview. I don't know what the premise it was. An amazing interview with a young woman. This is horrific, right? So I'm not in any way, an amazing interview with a young woman who was kidnapped as a child and put in the back of a car, put in the boot, locked in the boot. It was incredible. It was such a good interview. And Eddie Mayer did it spot on. And she was, I think it was someone she knew, and she was driven for like about 2 hours, locked up in a basement, and then he would sexually assault her. But he would stream it live on the internet, right? It's such an horrific story, and it was one of those things where I was in the kitchen, and I had to stop what I was doing because I couldn't believe, A, that this had happened, and B, this woman was speaking. She was so, I say chilled about it. She was just like so down to earth, right? And she now helps survivors and things like that. And this guy streamed it, and he did this for like 4 or 5 nights. And on the last night, he said to her, "This has to end because I'm falling in love with you," right? And she realised he was going to kill her, right? And so did one of the people watching it. And one of the people watching it realised that this was actually... She used a brilliant phrase. She said, I'm getting choked up about it. She said, one of the monsters reported the monster. And it was a fella that had been watching this and realised actually someone was going to die and how horrific this was. And he phoned up the FBI and said, "That girl you're looking for, turns out she's..." Oh, I've got chills thinking about it. It was the most horrific... His most horrific story, okay? And I'm sorry to bring a downer to everybody. But he's genuinely got me thinking, Periscope is a really dangerous tool. If you imagine that one of those fruitcakes in, what was it, Brussels or Paris... If they'd been periscoping it, I think they've done it in 24, If they'd been periscoping it, how would you police that? Is there like an off switch for Periscope where the police could phone up California and say, "You've got to switch Periscope off"? I don't think there is.
Is there a report facility on it?
Well, probably, but you can... I reported to Twitter that people were threatening to kill me, and they came back 3 weeks later saying, "Well, this doesn't violate any of Twitter's rules." So I don't know. And I brought what a downer I brought to the show, and all the calls you just had have rung off. Thank you, I appreciate that. You can call in. We'll go back to the fun stuff in a minute. But genuinely, this story on Radio 4 was just... It was so horrific, and she just told it in such a calm way, and she now goes to schools and talks to kids about, internet security and all this kind of stuff. But it really got me thinking that Periscope is we're dicking around in front of a camera for a radio show to try and get new radio station listeners. Something bad must have happened on Periscope, mustn't it? I've.
No, I'm pretty sure it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has.
I don't know.
We'll have to have a look.
I don't.
But I don't want to look. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to look at that. And also, at what point do you watch something and go, "Oh, this is a weird thing they're acting here"? Oh God, it's real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I throw that out there, and lots of you are now talking on Periscope about it, but I can't read what you're saying, I'm afraid. So if you want to talk, you can text us, talk 87222, or you can give us a call. 0844 499 1000. On that bummer, let's have some ads. Okay. 0844. It turns out at least one person has died on Periscope. We found a story. Downer. I just find it absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Do you remember when Twitter was... by the way, call straight to air, and if I see you on the switchboard now, I will take you. Sorry, I ignored a few calls then. 0844 499 1000. When Twitter was like... what was the first country in the Arab Spring? Was it Egypt? Was there one before Egypt? There was one before Egypt, I think. Or maybe it was in Iran, when they had protests in Iran. And Twitter was being heralded as this great way of communicating from in dictatorships and regimes, and it brings the world together. No, it's not. It's just a place for eggs to bully people. That's all. It's just a place for eggs to bully sad, lonely people. That's what it's for. I think Twitter... if I didn't have to plug this show and other shows, if I didn't have to sell myself... I would get rid of Twitter in a heartbeat. Because I follow 39 people, and they're primarily connected with the monkeys. But Twitter as a fun thing, I think its day is gone.
I've found some people, people make me smile.
You use it for dogging.
I don't even have a dog. No, I found some amusing people on there. People make me laugh, and I've been having, cruddy days, and it's been cheered up by it.
Yeah,
but I guess I should really engage with my proper friends more.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you get quite... someone can make you smile, or someone can put something on there.
But it's the thing, though, if I get 100 people slagging... If I get 100 people saying nice things and one person slagging me off, that's the one that I hear in my head at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know what you mean. And then I dislike myself for caring.
It was interesting talking to Mark Lawson, who is, sounds like... I've always thought was a very robust gentleman. Lost his job at the BBC on Front Row a couple of years ago. And I didn't get to talk to him much, and I wish I had, because I overheard a couple of things that sounded really interesting. This private eye thing. And I said, I did say to him, "Are you on Twitter, Mark?" He said, "Oh no, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the battering that I would get. I can't even look at the comment. If I write an article for The Guardian, I can't even look at the comment section underneath, because it just hurts too much." Yeah. It just makes you think. Tony Blackburn as well said something similar. And it does just make you think, that, man, we're all people. Leave us alone. I
know, but for the most part, people that have a pop on you on Twitter aren't really they don't know you. You're just a caricature. So, and that's what the healthy side of my head tells me. But, on a bad day, that can really get to you, that stuff.
0844. I've scared all the listeners off with my talk. They're worried I'm going to murder you. I'm not, honestly. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Speaking of jihadists, Lily Allen is
not currently a jihadist. We have to say for
no. I like Lily Allen. Lily Allen comes in for a rough ride, right? I interviewed. I did a show with her dad when he was in an altered state of consciousness, and it was hard work. And he shouted at me a lot, and it was tough. It was a tough.
It's not Lily Allen's fault, is it?
No, I like Lily Allen. I think she's got a really nice voice. I can't think of any of her songs. Smile. She did a song called Smile. That was a nice song. I like that. I like Lily Allen, and so do Isis. Hang on a second. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Am I on, Ian?
You're on, yes.
Ian?
Hello?
Good evening, Mr. Naughty.
Is that Maureen?
Have you been watching Big Brother?
I haven't been watching Big Brother for a while. No, I haven't.
I think you're bloody talented. Well, you're wonderful.
You're very, very kind, my dear. Thank you so much. I think you're good.
I just want to say I'm putting dog food in my underwear.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go, you see. That's, Lily's making jihadis smile. Banned extremists, fans of singer. And then there's also a picture of Ross Kemp. I'm looking forward to finding out his connection to the story. Jihadis may hate the West, but they love Lily Allen. That's a great opening line.
How can that be, right? if we're to believe that, they want to subjugate women and they treat them like, terribly, why would they like Lily Allen, who is an outspoken feminist?
Oh, well, they don't want to know the message.
But their songs are riddled with message.
No.
They are, though.
While the extremists claimed pop songs were forbidden, under Islam, they recognised Lily's latest hit on the radio, according to a study.
Oh.
Many claimed TV was controlled by the government with its anti-Islam agenda, while at the same time admitting they loved watching Ross Kemp on Gangs.
I mean, it is very good.
British-born members of band Al Mahajirun
yep.
claimed football should be outlawed and stadiums used for stoning and executions, but many radicals confessed they were Manchester United fans. They're just hypocrites! ISIS, as well as being murderous thugs, are just hypocrites. Make your mind up. What do you want to watch football or executions in their stadiums? What do you want?
It's as if it's just mindless violence and there is no basis in any kind of theory.
Or half-time entertainment, I don't know. The contradictions within the group, set up by hate cleric Omar Bakri and also known as Islam for UK. Are they? I don't know enough about this group to know if they are jihadists or not. So Dr. The jihadis were also familiar with the Smile hitmaker Lily's other tunes.
Smile hitmaker.
Dr. Bailey said, who's conducted this research, the Islamists' argument that music is forbidden did not stop one... did not stop one recognising the latest Lily Allen song when played on the radio.
So one fella.
So the headline, Lily's making jihadis smile, banned extremists, fans of singer.
No.
One bloke went, oh, that's Lily Allen. I nearly went for the voice there and I bottled it, which is probably for the best. That's Lily Allen. Proper halal. Was that the line from Three Lions? Is that when he's talking about, was he talking about Dixie Fried Chicken or something?
Proper halal.
The sociologist said group members turned to radicalism after minor clash. One refused to bake a cake in his home economics class at school because he was fasting. Well, that is basically, Jerry Lawton, you've written a story, and I do like The Star. It's my go-to paper for news about ISIS. You've made a story out of nothing there. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us. Now,
because the way he painted it was like there were, people sitting in tents in Syria, polishing their guns to the sounds of Lily Allen's beats.
That's a euphemism now. What's this programme, Sex Box?
Right. I haven't seen it. No. I've only seen it mentioned on things like Gogglebox.
Right.
That's the only box I'm familiar with. But what happens is, it's supposed to be like a social experiment, but really it's just kind of porn for cowards. And what they do is they get people to go and do it in a box on set, and then they come out and say what it was like.
That's a television programme.
Apparently.
Flipping it. Is that really? That's what we've...
I believe that's what it is.
What channel is it on? 4? 4 used to be proper mucky, didn't it?
Yeah,
but now
it's
like
great.
Do you remember the best programme they were ever going to have on Channel 4 and they bottled it because like the Ofcom and the police got involved, right? The two best programmes. The first one was Dermot O'Leary, and it was people were going to stay awake for 100 hours.
Right.
No, more than it's going to run for weeks until they'd all fallen asleep, right? And the point was they weren't allowed to sleep, and if you slept, you were off.
Was that like an early Big Brother type of?
It was around when Big Brother was like year 2 or 3, and I was like, "Oh, this will be good." And then they bottled it, and they said, "Oh, every 2 hours you can have a 15-minute sleep break." Well, what's the point in that?
That's my life.
The other programme that they bottled was Space Cadets with Johnny Vaughan. Did you see that?
No, but you've told me about this
before.
Oh,
man. I would... If anyone has got Space Cadets on video, it was brilliant. So they got, basically, the thickest reality TV wannabes, and these were proper...
Like fame hungry.
They were just thick.
Right.
Really thick, right? And they took them to this base in the UK, and they said, we're going to... 4 of you are going to go to space in a space shuttle, right? There's about 20 of them. And we're going to fly to Russia. So they put them in this plane, and they just flew in a circle for about 6 hours, right? So they all thought they were in Russia. Went back to the same place, and then they had a week of just like tests and stuff like that. And then they picked the 4 that were going to go... They'll pick 3 that were going to go to space and 1 stooge, a bloke I knew called Charlie Skelton, who's a writer on the 11 o'clock show. And they put them in this mock space shuttle, and they pretended to send them up to space.
So they thought they were blasting off?
Yeah. And then they're in space, and basically they're just watching a big screen of Earth, right? And they got around they got around the no gravity thing. They said that they invented a machine that would create gravity.
So no G-force.
No, there's none of that. None of that. They said it was all. It was a new space. They were so thick. They said it's a new spaceship, and there's none of that stuff. We've got none of that stuff.
That seems plausible.
Fine. And then the stooge would be kind of given missions to kind of wind them up and stuff like that. And I always thought it should have ended because they bought it. They were in space for 4 days, right? And it ended with basically the spaceship being opened and they were in a TV studio. And I went, oh no! It should have ended with them looking at Earth and either a giant spider or a normal spider just running across Earth, or Earth being blown up. They should have blown Earth up with them thinking that that's what they were watching, just to see how bad what their reaction was, and then said, "You can go now, guys." It was a good show. I loved it. It was on around at the same time as a program called Making Slough Smile.
Wow.
Which again, if anyone's got that on VHS, guys, if you could.
And how do you make Slough smile?
Oh, you send a load of tits out there giving people pot plants and singing songs in Slough High Street.
All right.
I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break. You're going to phone Owen Elliot, and we will talk to her after this. Did you? We're going to take a call in a second. Get rid of that bit, because I found what I want now. I want to play a Let me just play it. Let me indulge me for a second with a minute of this. This is one of the best songs you're ever going to hear.
Yesterday had nothing to say. Tomorrow may bring me a thought. Today was here, now it's turned into fear. If it's with you, then I should stay. Sit and wonder why I'm leaving. Sit and wonder if you'll call.
I know we're not a music station, but and someone just tweeted earlier on, do you miss playing music? Yeah, I miss playing stuff like this. Oh, it's just the most, it's the most perfect song, and it's two wonderful voices. Cass Elliot, sadly no longer with us, but we are very, very lucky that we're live from California, our second call to the United States this week. It's Owen Elliot, Cass's daughter. Evening, good morning, good afternoon, Owen.
It's afternoon here, that's for certain.
I've got to check, because I follow you on... You're one of the few people I follow on Twitter. I believe...
I feel honoured.
Yeah, well, you should be. I believe there was a little dispute in the Elliot household today because you bought expensive vegetables. What the hell is going on over there?
You know, I don't like to shop for much, but I do like to grocery shop. No, we have. You know, it's a specialty market.
Yeah.
It's the specialty markets.
And you spent a little bit more than you should have done, and your fella said, "Oi, stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it!"
Listen, if the worst thing that I'm doing is shopping for expensive groceries, he's got no worries.
It's so nice to talk to you. Me and Kath have spoken to you before, and I can never get across just how much that we both love Cass's voice. And of course, for me, it started with the Mamas and the Papas, and the wonderful records that they made. But I think it's her last 4 albums for me, the solo albums and the ones she did with we're playing now with Dave Mason. They're just masterpieces. And I'm looking at it online. The Dave Mason and Cass Elliot album got to number 49 in the States.
I know.
Cass Elliot,
terrible.
The Road Is No Place for a Lady, and Don't Call Me Mama Anymore. They didn't even chart.
Well, I think that who knows? Who knows why the hell they didn't happen? But it's sad, and it is definitely some of her best work in her later years. And certainly, I was as we were listening to the opening with Dave Mason. That record is so great, and part of why it's so great is it has a similarity to the Mamas and Papas in that when my mom sang with Denny, it was really magical.
Yeah.
And it was pretty darn magical with Mr. Mason as well.
It is my life's work to get people to buy those 4 albums, because I just, honestly, it staggers me that they're not better known. How old were you, Owen, when your mum passed away?
I was 7 when she passed away. I was really young.
Yeah. And how much do you remember? I mean, well, 7 still, how much of her do you remember? What do you remember of your mum?
I was actually just talking about this with my daughter today. I don't have a lot of memories of her, mostly because the nature of what she did for a living took her away from home a lot.
Yeah.
So she wasn't around a lot when I was little.
Were you aware that she was such a huge pop star? Did you know that Mum? Because I imagine that you kind of grew up with like Graham Nash and Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix hanging out and stuff like that. I guess that kind of pop star life was normal to you.
That's exactly it. It's spot on. You know what's normal in your life is what you know to be normal.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be a dentist's child and the same thing. This is just my life.
Yeah.
What? And these guys are like my Dutch uncles. You know what I mean?
We were supposed to get, Cass here with me, we were supposed to get Graham Nash on.
Oh, yeah, I
You muffed
I ballsed it up, yeah.
We were supposed to speak to Graham Nash last week, and I was so excited, Owen, because he's one of my heroes, and I came in early, and I left my children crying because Daddy was leaving for work early.
Oh, man.
And what happened, Kath?
Well, I realised that they hadn't sent me the phone number, like, an hour before we were supposed to talk to them, and then I was frantically calling them, and it was the Easter holiday, so it's not happened. But I'm trying to retrieve it, and I think Graham Nash is going to come in.
Okay, hopefully. But you would have known him. Do you still speak to these guys, Owen?
On occasion, when I saw Graham and David a year ago when they played here in Los Angeles, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go to the show, and I saw them both there.
Yeah.
They're lovely, lovely people, both of them.
The weird thing about your mum, right, is is because I don't think she is I don't think she's remembered as much as she should be. We all think of California Dreamin' and, kind of the Mamas and the Papas and the big hits. Why do you think that her solo stuff, and there are a couple of hits that stand out, but a lot of her solo stuff isn't as well looked after by the record company as perhaps it should be, and as well recognised and remembered as it should be?
Well, if you're referring to the last few records, which I suspect you are, part of it is the record company's fault.
Yeah.
In that, for a long time, they really didn't know that they even had those records in their catalog. They weren't hits, so nobody remembered them. Which kind of goes back to your original comment about how they weren't charted hits at all, those last couple of records. But I think that with the advancements in digital age, and what's happened, at least in the record business, is that record companies are getting bought by bigger record companies, and when that happens, the people who are in charge of all of those recordings, those maybe 10,000 recordings, they've got a lot of stuff to do. They don't worry about everybody.
Yeah, and the stuff gets lost. I've released a couple of obscure sort of Monkees records, and the amount of work it took to get a record company to even acknowledge that they own those records, because it all just gets lost. This small record company gets bought up by a bigger one, gets bought up by a bigger one, gets bought up by a multinational, and they're all kind of lost.
Exactly, because one hand doesn't know what the other one is doing. quite honestly,
You saw Mum live a few times, didn't you?
I did. I remember seeing her. Let me just throw my dog out.
What's your dog called?
Ridiculous. He's a. What do you call them? A sausage dog.
Yeah, we call them sausage dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
Why have you got such a ridiculous dog?
Oh, because he is ridiculous.
Good for you. Well done. Perfect.
I love those dogs. They're characters, aren't they?
Oh my God, he's bigger than his brain is bigger than his body. You know what I mean? But it's so hard. Those records are really great. I wish that they would get promoted more. the contracts that govern all those records are just shoddy.
Yeah,
they're just terrible, and they've never come out. they put them out, but they don't do any publicity about it. And you know what? Let's face it, nobody buys records anyway.
No, exactly.
Anymore.
You did see your mum live, didn't you? Do you remember it?
I remember going to see her when she was recording the last record.
Yeah.
I remember and we went to Chicago. I remember I was really little, So I remember going to Chicago. I remember going to Mr. Kelly's, which was the club that she had recorded the record in.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, my 6 or 7 year old memory had more to do with the fact that the guy told me I couldn't bring my Jell-O back to my seat. That was what my concentration was on. So I don't remember too much about the show. I'm like, I can't take my Jell-O? What?
What kind of joint is this?
It must be weird having my dad died a couple of years ago, right? And I didn't really get on with him very well until the last few years of his life. And I've got very little of him. I've got a few photographs. I've got a tiny little record that he made, in a booth, a 2-minute record, and that's kind of all I've got. What's it like having your mum? I guess kind of everywhere, because there are the records. You go on YouTube and you type in Cass Elliot or Mama Cass, and hundreds of videos pop up. Her with Johnny Cash, her with John Sebastian, her, hosting her own show. All of this stuff. Is it weird that you can kind of access her?
It's totally weird.
Yeah.
It's cool, though, and it brings back memories that I maybe otherwise wouldn't have, And recently, here in the States, they've been re-airing old episodes of the Johnny Carson Show.
Oh, wow.
Formerly known as The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
They can't call it that for legal reasons, but they're airing it as because The Tonight Show is an entity that's owned by NBC.
Oh, no. How can they check? That's terrible.
So they're airing the Johnny Carson Show on, a pretty obscure, cable channel, and they just aired my mom's last appearance.
Wow. Did you know it was coming up? Did you know it was coming up, or did you just turn it on and it was like, oh, God, there's Mum?
No, I knew it was coming up. Thank you to Twitter.
Well, wow,
and the minions on Twitter, as it were. Someone tipped me off to it, and I had already been taping it because we're kind of, TV junkies around here.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it's really a trip to see some of these, people like Robin Williams.
Yeah.
In 1980.
Oh, and listen, stay there. I've got to pay the rent for a second. Can we come back to you in a couple of minutes? Is that okay?
Of course.
Oh, I love her so much. We have to. You know what we have to do? We have to. When we come back, we're going to ask her if we can go and kip at hers, and if she can.
I'm sure she'll be up for
get us flights over there. This is Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
And when I go away, I know my heart can stay with my love. It's understood, it's in the hands of my love. 'Cause my love does it good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My love does it good. And when the cupboard's bare.
Oh, what a voice. I mean, seriously, what a voice. I know what I'm listening to on the way home. That, of course, is Cass Elliot, and we're joined by Cass's daughter, Owen Elliot Kugel. Owen, I mean, it's just so wonderful. Are you in charge of kind of Cass's sort of memory and her website and keeping her in the public domain?
Yes, and yes.
Good.
And it's quite the undertaking.
Yeah, I bet.
It really is. I'm really so fortunate to have that kind of a problem. Let me say that.
Well, I mean, and what a legacy to have to carry around with you. I mean, there's not. I can't think of a dud song that she's done. With most, even the Beatles, I can think of a couple of turkeys they recorded. I can't think of a dud that she made.
Yeah, she had very good taste in music, no question.
And
but I really do love, especially this stuff, from this record, because it's stuff that she really wanted to do. We've spoken about that before, about how the records that she made later in life were really truly her passion records.
Yeah.
And that's why they mean so much to me.
What do you think if she was still around now? What do you think she'd be doing?
I think she'd be in Vegas.
Really?
Yep.
Or glitz and glamour and tits and teeth.
Well, I think she would have had some more chances there, because she certainly did have a couple of runs in Vegas. One not so successful, and the other one, the comeback was successful.
Well, one was ruined because she was so nervous. I think I've got this right. She was so nervous, so she was taking all kinds of things to stop the nerves, and that ruined the performance. But she's such a confident performer when you see video of her that it seems hard to imagine her being nervous.
Well, we all have our little things about us, right? I mean, I think that. Yeah, she did get nervous. She did get nervous.
What? As far as you're aware, and I know we've spoken about this. This is
one of the. I'm sorry. I'm going to backtrack for 1 second.
Go on.
One of the reasons she was so nervous about that show.
Yeah.
Was that it was really one of the first times she was standing on that stage by herself.
Yeah, of course.
She'd been up there with her friends. And had that security of, when you're up there on a stage, it's a scary place to be. And if you can have somebody else with you, that's the best way to do it. Anyway, I just had to put that.
No, you're absolutely right, of course, because of course, up until that point, she'd been singing with the Mamas and the Papas, and she was one of 4 voices. She had a really interesting.
Before that, she'd been with the Big Three.
Yeah.
And before that, she'd been with the Mugwumps.
With John Sebastian, of course, who we had on the first week of the show.
Correct. So,
and she was. This is another fascinating thing I find about Cass, is that she was auditioning for the same parts that Barbra Streisand was going for before either of them were stars.
Yes.
Which is incredible.
And then of course there was her follow-up line to that experience of there just aren't many parts for a 200-pound ingenue.
I suppose.
I
suppose so.
It's just fewer and farther between.
Oh God! One of the people that I really wish, her and Carl Wilson from the Beach Boys, are the two people I wished I could have just spent 10 minutes in their company with. The voices of angels.
Can I tell you about Carl Wilson?
Please do, please. One of my heroes.
He, one of the sweetest, most wonderful human beings you would ever have the opportunity to meet.
Oh, good.
He was just a lovely person. He was my best friend's uncle.
Wow. Of course he was, because you're friends with Wilson Phillips. Of course, I'm making. Yes.
Well, he's Carney and Wendy's Uncle Carl.
Yeah, of course he is.
And we spent quite a bit of time with him, and he was a lovely man. I mean, and of course had the voice to match it.
Is there
as angelic as that voice was? Think about him singing Heaven.
Oh man, don't. I mean, Heaven and God Only Knows are two of the purest pop vocal performances by anybody, I think.
No question, hands down. No, hands down. And Carl actually sang on my mom's version of Disney Girls.
Yeah.
He was part of the background group that they dubbed the High Beach Mamas.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hysterical.
And when you know that, you can hear his voice. I didn't know that for the first few listens, and then I read the sleeve notes, and then you go, oh yeah, there it is. That sweet voice. You do know Wilson Phillips. You're kind of friends with those guys.
Well, since we were, I'm not going to say we're in diapers. Well, yeah, when we're in diapers.
And they're still going. I love Wilson Phillips. I got a soft spot for them, and they're still going, aren't they? They're still making records and doing gigs and things, aren't they?
They are. They're playing a couple of shows a month. I mean, they're on the road. They're actually, doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they sound better than they've ever sounded.
Wow.
As people grow older and mature and master their crafts, you get better with time, as they say, like a fine wine. So.
Oh, and listen, Katherine and I, at some point, we're going to have to. Have you got a spare room?
No, I don't. I wish I would.
Have you got? No, I'm not having that. Have you got like a pull-out sofa bed, or have you got have you got spare room on your floor?
My husband sleeps on it. My husband sleeps on it because he snores.
Oh, in that case, fair enough. Then we'll listen. If we ever come over, we're going to take you out for lunch or something because it's just such a joy to talk to you, and you know all of the people that you've met and you grew up with. You know, you're right, Uncle David Crosby, Uncle Graham Nash, and Carl Wilson and stuff like that. I've just tweeted at Iain Lee. I've just tweeted that you can buy a box set of the last 3 records. Cass Elliot, This Road Is No Place for a Lady, and Don't Call Me Mama. I've just tweeted the link where you can get all those in a nice little box set. While you're there, go and get the Dave Mason and Cass Elliot album as well. You can get them for a steal on Amazon.
That one's going to be a bit harder to find. The Mason Cass record, but it's out there if people look for it.
It's out. No, they released it on CD in this country a little while ago.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. Have you not got a copy of it?
You know, I think I do in my closet somewhere. Yeah. You know, people don't play CDs anymore. In fact, I was just talking to my husband about buying a new laptop.
Oh yeah,
because mine's from 2010.
Yeah,
and I have the CD slot in the side. You know the CD-ROM, whatever And I said, well, you know, we have to get one that we can put CDs in. And he goes, why?
Oh no! Oh no! Don't! I love CDs.
Said, no, I have to because you know I can't. I need to be able to put. You know, so the tangible.
Oh God!
The tangible CD
sounds very tense in your household at the moment, Owen. I hope you sort it out. Listen, it's so nice to talk to you, and I love it when your name pops up on Twitter, and I appreciate you keeping in touch with us. Thank you so much. And if anything, you know, happens that you need to plug or anything, Owen, you get in touch, and you've got a slot on this show anytime you want.
Oh, you guys rock. Thank you for reaching out, and I'll see you all on the Twitterverse.
We will see you in the Twitterverse, Owen. God bless you. Owen Elliot, Cass Elliot's daughter and friend of... of course, I knew that she knew Wilson Phillips. I forgot the connection, of course, that the Wilsons would be related to Carl Wilson, of course. How stupid. And she mentioned a really obscure Carl Wilson song, Heaven, which is on one of his solo albums. I can't remember if it's the first or the second one. I think it's the second one, but I might be wrong. And it's just, oh man, it's just a joy. Oh, God bless you and your family. Thank you so much for that. The last few minutes of the show. If you want to see those CDs, you can get let me tweet the Dave Mason and Cass Elliot one as well, because you can get them for an absolute steal. An absolute steal. Let me do that. Here we go. Here's the Dave Mason and Cass Elliot. Oh, I spelled Dave wrong. Hang on a second. Cass, do you want to come in and help me out just while I do this? I'm busy selling stuff. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Isn't she a delight?
I love her.
She did say we couldn't stay at her house though.
I didn't hear that, so
she was making up all kinds of excuses. Oh, I haven't got a spare room. Oh, my husband sleeps on the pull-out sofa bed.
I've got a tent. I don't mind keeping in the garden.
Oh, we've got to ask her about the dress, didn't we?
Oh, we'll have to have her back on.
Yeah, we'll get her back on. There we go. Look at that. I've just tweeted that, so that's how you do it.
I love it.
And those albums are brilliant, and there's so little about Cass out there. You know, there's the Greatest Hits, by the way, is great. There's a Mama Cass collection or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but that's nice entry-level stuff.
Yeah,
but the rest of it's great as well.
There was a good book written about her that was a little bit dry.
Yeah, Dream a Little Dream of Me.
It was a little bit dry, but it had all the facts in there. And, I mean, it's such a sad death at such a young age. Carl Wilson died. Carl Wilson, how old was he when he died? He was something like 56 or 53 or something. You just think, flipping heck, man, that's outrageous. There's a few minutes if you want to call straight to air. You're more than welcome to. 0844 499 1000 if you want. We've still got 130 people watching us on Periscope. I don't know if I would watch. Yes, I would watch it. Do you know what? If Tommy Boyd were to do a show, or if Nick Abbott were to do it on Periscope, I think I'd probably watch.
Of course you would.
A bit of it. I tell you what Periscope is good for. Sometimes one of the monkeys will Periscope a sound check or something. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, you know what? It's exciting to people who are not used to... You know, this is mysterious for a lot of people.
I have friends... My voice is going... Uh-oh. I have friends who work on Facebook. Uh-huh. And you remember Facebook do a similar thing where you can stream live video footage on Facebook. I wonder if that is ever going to generate the same kind of audience that Periscope does. It's like trying to come up with an alternative to Twitter after Twitter's already done it. I don't know. Should I be worried that my voice is going a little bit croaky?
No, but I think I'm going to get earache in collaboration with your voice.
What does that mean?
Oh, you'll go on about it.
Flippin' heck! Really? Is that what you're gonna? Is that what you're going to end with? That's your parting shot? Is
No, I'm very sympathetic, obviously.
Having a pop at me. So, what one of these we? Oh, I know what the whole show was meant to be. Where's the Daily Mail?
Quick, let's just do the end of the show about it.
Where's the Daily Mail? Oh, the New Day. I've not read that paper yet, and I don't think I ever will.
Oh, I forgot about that paper.
Yeah, I know. I probably won't. The Daily Mail. Very, very sad. Iain Duncan Smith having a cry about, what is it, IDS weeps on TV for single mum felt by the system.
Now, I didn't see the TV footage, but in these pictures, what I'm seeing is the crying face my kids do when they're trying to get the other one into trouble.
There's no actual... what I'm seeing is a man really...
Trying to squeeze it out!
To squeeze one out! Iain Duncan Smith, who I don't think has a soul, let alone tear ducts, broke down and cried...
Did he though?
During a TV documentary, as he recalled the plight of a single mother failed by the system. So hang on, he's crying over one person. Why doesn't he try and think of the, I don't know, millions of people that were screwed over by the spare room subsidy? He introduced that, didn't he? I don't really know politics. I just like to pretend that I do, but I don't actually know politics. He would have introduced the spare room subsidy.
He's someone who said that what do they call it? They sanctions on benefits can make people are grateful for them because it makes them get their act together.
Oh, do you know who made the documentary?
Who's that?
Hislop. Should have asked him about it. But I said in the papers then. The former Work and Pensions Secretary, who dramatically quit the cabinet last month by stabbing his friend in the back, became emotional.
He said they'd gone too far, didn't he?
As he contrasted the fortunes of a struggling teenager on a council estate with those of his daughter. The daughter of a multi-millionaire, soulless man who takes money from the weakest and the poorest, yet it surely gives a thumbs up when the bankers get big bonuses and tax levels are lowered. Mr. Duncan Smith was caricatured by the left as the government's hatchet man after presiding over, get this guys, billions of pounds of welfare cuts. Billions of pounds of welfare cuts. And now he's crying. There's a single mum. What about all the other people affected by the billions of pounds of cuts, you soulless demon? We can say that, can't we? We can call him a soulless demon. It's factually correct. It's not libelous in any way whatsoever.
I don't know whether we can prove he's a demon.
That's it, guys. That's your lot. If you want to go and download the Best Of podcast, you can. If you go to iTunes or your regular podcast provider and download it, it's there. Back tomorrow at 10. Ta-ta!
Talk Radio. Digital debate for the UK.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.